Number 27, Brian Pena is catching. Second baseman, number 17, Chris Getz. Batting ninth, shortstop, number 2, Alcides Escobar. And pitching for Kansas City. Batting third, designated hitter, number 55, Hideki Matsui. Batting in the fourth position, left fielder, number 16, Josh Willingham. Batting fifth, right fielder, number 28, Connor Jackson. Batting sixth and playing third, number 29, Scott Sizemore. Batting in the seventh position, the catcher, number 8, Kurt Suzuki. Batting eighth, playing first, number 10, Derek Barton. And batting ninth, second baseman, number 19, Jamal Weeks. And pitching for the Athletics this afternoon, and included his warm-up tosses, number 47, Gio Gonzalez.
The official soft rank of your Oakland Athletics. The Royals at 30 and 38. They come in 7 back of Cleveland and Detroit, both tied atop the American League Central. A little different look today for Ned Yost on this getaway day for the Royals. They've got the Cardinals coming up this weekend in interleague play. Mitch Meyer leads off in left field. Batting second, their center fielder, Melky Cabrera. Batting third and right is Jeff Francoeur. He's hitless in the series, although has hit the ball well. Billy Butler, their DH, will bat fourth. In the 5 spot, making his first appearance on this road trip, which began in Southern California, is Wilson Betemit. He's at first base. In the 6th spot, the young third baseman, his first week in the big leagues, Mike Moustakas. Brian Pena catches today. He's batting 7th. Hitting 8th is Chris Getz. He is at second base, and the red-hot Alcides Escobar at shortstop batting 9th. He's hit in 8 games in a row, and on the road trip, he has gone a rather hot 12 for 19. On the mound, the 30-year-old left-hander from Vancouver, British Columbia, now makes Denver, Colorado his home. That is Jeff Francis, a 58-game winner of the big leagues this year with Kansas City, 3-6, including one of those losses against the A's back in May, and a 4.40 ERA. Again for the Royals, Meyer in left, Cabrera in center, Francoeur at third. The middle three has Butler, the DH, Betemit at first, and Moustakas at third, followed by Pena catching Getz at second, and Escobar is the shortstop. For the homestanding Athletics at 29 and 40, they're 7 back of Texas in the West. Coco Crisp leading off in center field, batting second, and playing shortstop is Cliff Pennington. In the 3 spot, Hideki Matsui, he will DH. Before the game today, Bob Melvin said he will play some right field in interleague play coming up for the A's in the National League cities of New York and Philadelphia. Josh Willingham batting 4th. He is in left. Connor Jackson, a lifetime .421 hitter against Francis with 4 home runs in right. He's in the 5 spot. Hitting 6th and playing third base is Scott Sizemore, followed by the catcher Kurt Suzuki. Hitting 8th is Derek Barton at first base, and batting 9th is the second baseman, the igniter, Jamal Weeks. 25-year-old left-hander from Hialeah, Florida. That is Gio Gonzalez for the Athletics. He's 5-5 with a 2.67 ERA. That earned run average is still 6th best in the league, although struggled his last time out against Chicago. Lost only 3-2, but he walked 7 men in that ball game and surrendered a home run to Ramon Castro. He's a bit under the weather today, hoping to fight through that and give the A's back-to-back victories for the first time in the month of June. Crispin center, Pennington at short, and Matsui the DH. Willingham at left, Jackson and Rod, and Sizemore at third, followed by Suzuki catching, Barton at first, and Weeks at second base. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics for the private and non-commercial use of our audience, and a reproduction or retransmission of the descriptions and accounts of this game in any form without the express written consent of the Oakland Athletics is strictly prohibited. The A's like to keep the pace going for Gio, meaning put the sign down and go right to work. Don't think too much between pitches, and they hope that he has enough stamina today to go deep into this ball game and see if the A's can get themselves some momentum before interleague play returns to the Coliseum this weekend against the San Francisco Giants. We're ready for some Thursday afternoon baseball. Once again, here's Ken.
All right, Gio 5-5 on the year, a 2.67 ERA. The A's with the gold tops in back-to-back games.
Well, you know, Gio always wears the gold. I mean, that's no surprise, and I guess Josh Outman was just trying to mix it up yesterday, and you know what? It worked.
Does Feldman have the A's record when they wear the gold tops in back-to-back games?
Let me text him. I'll let you know.
Here's Mitch Meyer, a left-handed hitter. First appearance of the series, batting at .323. The Royals in the blue tops. It is a gorgeous day with not a cloud in the sky. This is meeting number 6 this year between these two ball clubs. The A's lead the season series 3-2. And now Gio, the A's lefty, delivers, and Mitch Meyer, a left-handed hitter, takes a fastball for a strike on the inside corner. 66 degrees at first pitch. Cabrera is on deck, and then Francoeur. Here's the pitch by Gio, the 0-1 to Meyer, and that's swung out and missed. Now the count 0-2, another fastball. Derek Barton's at first for the A's. Jemile Weeks at second. The shortstop Cliff Pennington. Scott Sizemore's over at third. Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. The 0-2 pitch to Meyer is taken high, and it's 1-2. The outfield of Josh Willingham in left. Coco Crisp in center. Connor Jackson's in right. Once again, Hideki Matsui is the DH. The 1-2 pitch by Gonzalez. He turns, kicks, and it's on the way, and it's swung on and missed. He throws a fastball by him, and that's the way our ball game begins. A fastball at 94. Well, Gio said before the game that he's not feeling very well today. Yeah, it looks like it. 94 on the gun to blow away Mitch Meyer, and that'll bring up Melky Cabrera.
I think the A's would just like to see Gio control the emotions, go pitch to pitch, and really have confidence in that curveball to make it a good pitch for a strike and also swing and miss.
But he really is under the weather today. Here's the pitch to Cabrera, hit up the middle off of Gio. It ricochets into center field for a base hit. I think that ball nicked Gio working its way up the middle. A well hit ball by Cabrera, and he has our ball game's first hit. And that'll bring up Jeff Francoeur, who's batting third today. Eric Hosmer has the day off. Francoeur batting at .268 with 9 homers and 41 RBIs. The Royals are 30-38. The A's are 29-40. Francoeur, a right-handed hitter. The set by Gonzalez. The pitch is swung on and missed. Really, for Gio, just follow the formula that was used by Josh Outman last night. A lot of fastballs for Outman and working ahead in the count. Here's the set. Runner at first. It's on the way, and Francoeur swings and misses on a fastball down and away, and now the count 0-2. And again for Gio, the nightmare with his command in his last start against the White Sox on Saturday. 7 walks. From the third base side, the 0-2 to Francoeur is waved at Francoeur down on strikes on a fastball that was up out of the zone. Second K for Gio.
Well, when you get it ahead in the count like Gio just did, it gives him the opportunity to go in a number of different directions. And in this case, why not the four-seamer up? You know that Francoeur likes to swing the bat. He rarely walks, and couldn't catch up to that one.
Yeah, when you see someone with Gio's talent, it's still hard to believe that he hasn't won since May 17th. Here's a throw to first, and back to the bag is Melky Cabrera. And Billy Butler standing in, the DH for the Royals, batting at .302. Gio beat the Angels in that start on the 17th. He's 0-3 in 5 starts since. Here's the pitch to Butler by Gonzalez, and Butler takes low, and it's 1-0. Jeff Nelson is the plate umpire. Mike Esterbrook at first. Bill Welke at second. Tim Cheetah is over at third. 2 out, top of the first, just getting started, no score. Gonzalez, here's the set and the pitch to Butler, and that's outside, and it's 2-0. The Rangers are playing this afternoon against the Yankees, trying to avoid getting swept. And they're in the 8th inning in New York in a 2-2 tie. 2-0 to Butler. And here's the pitch, and that's taken outside, a close pitch, and the count 3-0. Fans grumbling a little bit. Crisp in center, a step toward right center. Gonzalez delivers and misses down and away for ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. So the Royals with 2 out of runners at first and second, and Betemit is coming up.
Batting in the 5th position, first baseman, number 24, Wilson Betemit.
Betemit was a regular for much of the year, but now the Royals have the kids on the corners in Hosmer at first and Moustakas at third. And Betemit, as Vince said, making his first start of this road trip for the Royals, which began over the weekend when they won 2 out of 3 against the Angels. So Cabrera's at second, Butler at first. And here's the kick. It's on the way, and a breaking ball. Good curve. A strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Betemit's a good hitter. He's batting .289. .347 on the road. Slight gap in left center. Gonzalez out of the stretch. The runners lead, and the 0-1 delivery to Betemit is swung on and missed on a fastball, and it's 0-2.
The advantage for the A's in this situation with Betemit is that he is much more proficient as a hitter from the other side of the plate, not nearly as dangerous from this side, and that swing on the previous pitch kind of gave an indication of the struggles he has right-handed.
Here's the stretch by Gonzalez with 2 on and 2 out, and the runners are going, and the pitch is swung on and missed on a high fastball, and Gonzalez strikes out the side. As the Royals leave 2, they fail to score, with the A's coming up in the bottom half. The first, after the Royals fail to score in the top half, Coco Crisp leads it off for the A's against Jeff Francis. Crisp, Pennington, and Matsui for the A's against the former Colorado left-hander. He's a soft tosser. He's come back from shoulder surgery. And the pitch to Coco is batting right is popped up. Left to home plate. The catcher, Brian Pena, back for a look, but this is out of play. Wilson Betemit's at first today. Chris Getz at second. The shortstop is Alcides Escobar. Mike Moustakas over at third. Behind the plate, Brian Pena. Mitch Meyer is in left, and center Melky Cabrera. The right fielder is Jeff Francoeur. Francis 3-6 and a 4.40 ERA. He's from Canada, from British Columbia. He is 30 years of age. He delivers to Coco, and it's swung on line at third, and a diving play by Moustakas. That ball was sizzled off the bat of Crisp, and Moustakas makes a great play for the first out, diving to his left here in the bottom of the first.
Boy, Coco's really frustrated because he's got good speed and can bunt upon occasion. Moustakas is up close on the edge of the grass, so the reaction time is reduced even more. He barely has an eyelash to begin with, and found the leather.
The heck of a play by the kid.
Yeah.
Quick reaction. So one out. Here's Pennington, a switch hitter batting right. And the pitch by Francis with no score is taken for a strike on the outside corner. Fastball at 85. Francis went to college at the University of British Columbia. His 0-1 pitch is taken outside in the count 1-1. The Athletics are 7 games behind Texas. The Rangers having dropped the first 2 games of that series against the Yankees. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed off speed, and the Rangers pitching just getting battered in those 2 games, losing the games by scores of 12-4 each night. Now they've gone to the 9th inning in New York and still tied up at 2-2. Pennington takes just outside, and they count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You mentioned Gio's a little bit sick today. I think Jeff Francis is sick to his stomach with the Vancouver Canucks losing the Stanley Cup.
Big fan of that hockey club. Swing and a foul back, and the count holds. The Boston Bruins, huh?
Boston Bruins, harkening back to the days of Bobby Orr in the early 70s.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the first, no score. And Pennington swings and dribbles it down the third base line. A tough play. Barehand Moustakas, bobble, and no play, and that's baseball. And Pennington has an infield single on a little dribbler down the third base line. He gets a hit. Crisp was the first out after whistling a shot that was caught by Moustakas over there.
Penny will probably turn a cover and say, I hit it to the same general area you did.
Yeah, what's your problem?
I got a hit. It seemed like Francis awkwardly went after that ball for a moment off the front slope of the mound, but apparently okay.
So here's Matsui, Godzilla batting at 219. 5 homers, 26 RBIs. Not quite the full shift on the infield, but they're certainly playing Matsui to pull. And the outfield straight away. Francis lefty on lefty, and Hideki takes a strike on the inside corner. So the Rangers lead the Mariners by a game. Seattle beat the Angels last night 3-1 behind another Canadian, Eric Bedard. Both the Mariners and Angels are idle today. The Angels are back by 3.5. The A's are back by 7. Bottom of the first, no score. Francis the high set. He throws, and Matsui takes off speed. A strike on the inside corner, 0-2. Jeff Francis faced the A's back on the 8th of May. 6 1/3, 8 hits and 3 runs. A's got him for 2 runs in the first inning.
That was at a time when Matsui was not playing against left-handed starting pitching.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Hideki, taken outside. In fact, in that game, Wilson Bedemy was playing third base, and he made an error on the first play of the game. And the A's got 2 runs in the first. Later against Francis, the A's got a solo home run from Kevin Kuzminov. A's won at 5-2. Francis 1-2 pitch. The high set. Here's a move to first, and Pennington is back. Francis was a first-round pick of Colorado. 2002, the 9th selection overall. Won 17 games in 07. Here's the delivery, and Hideki, it's a pop-up into short left field. A long run for Mitch Meyer. The left fielder is there, and he makes the catch in short left. Matsui's retired for the second out.
In the 4th position.
In fact, Francis started Game 1 of the World Series for the Rockies that year when they had that tremendous late run to the postseason. Eventually came up short against the Boston Red Sox in the Fall Classic, but their first appearance there.
Yeah, 14 wins in 05, 13 in 06, 17 in 07, then the serious shoulder problems, the surgery. that caused him to miss the entire 2009 season. This year is first in the American League. Willingham, a right-handed hitter, and the pitch by Francis to Josh is taken for a strike on the outside corner. Pennington's at first, 2 out, bottom of the first, no score. Just a light breeze blowing. The weather for this series has been spectacular. Here's the 0-1 on the way. Francis throws, the runner goes. It's taken for a ball. The throw to second base and the tag, and out at second. Here's Pennington. He tried to dive in. It looked like his hand might have been on the bag. Bob Melvin's going to argue this, and maybe the tag was somewhere. The tag applied by the second baseman gets on his leg, and Melvin's going to argue it. That's the final out of the bottom of the first. And after 1, no score. Mike Moustakas leads it off for the Royals, top of the second. There's no score here at the Coliseum. Moustakas, Pena, and Getz against Gio Gonzalez. Moustakas, a left-handed hitter, game number 5, actually number 6 today in his big league career. Takes the ball on the count 1-0. He's batting .294. Gonzalez is 2-2 lifetime against the Royals, and the pitch is sprayed foul left side out of play, and the count 1-1. The A's against the Giants here tomorrow night at 7:05. It'll mark the second major league start of the A's right-hander Graham Godfrey. And who does he draw? Tim Lincecum. Here's the 1-1. Breaky ball hit over the mound towards second, near the bag, on the bag. Pennington goes to first for the out. Moustakas is out 6-3, 1 away. That'll bring up Brian Pena. Pena's catching today. He's backing up Matt Trainer. Jason Kendall remains on the 60-day DL, although he's resumed some baseball activities. They think he's going to be back at some time this year.
He was trying to get back for opening day at one point during spring training. No surprise to A's fans, knowing the way Kendall tries to get on the field and stay on the field.
So Pena, switch hitter, batting right. And the pitch by Gio to Pena is taken outside in the count 1-0. Well, Kendall, he just wanted to play every day. He would have played all 162. Coco in center, a couple steps toward right center. Gio deals, and there's a strike at the knees. Off speed in the count 1-1. There was that interleague series several years ago when Kendall was playing for Pittsburgh when the Pirates came here, and he was the only catcher on their roster. Here's the 1-1 pitch outside 2-1.
And his response is so.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be out there.
2 balls and 1 strike to Brian Pena. We're in the second. There's no score. Here's the pitch by Gio. And that's foul back, and it's 2-2. The matchups for the series against the Giants. Graham Godfrey tomorrow night against Lincecum. 7:05 on Saturday. Guillermo Moscoso and Jonathan Sanchez. And then Sunday, Trevor Cahill at 1:05 against Matt Cain. The 2-2 to Pena, waved at that pitch, was a foot outside, and Gio has his 4th strikeout. All on fastballs, and all 4 of them might have been out of the zone. That'll bring up Chris Getz.
There may not be much life in Gio's body because he's a bit under the weather, but there's a lot of life in his pitches, really exploding up and out of the zone consistently.
Sometimes, you actually might perform better when you're sick. Not that you want to get sick. Here's strike on the inside corner, but sometimes athletes have talked about how you're not feeling well, you're just a little bit more relaxed. The 0-1 pitch, and that's taken for a strike at the knees, a fastball 0-2.
How'd that work for you in Chicago?
Oh, it was just great.
I thought you were pretty relaxed.
I was real relaxed because you were doing almost the entire play-by-play. Here's a swing and a foul back, and the count holds at 0-2. I mean, you were like the long man, the middle man, and the closer.
Yep. It happens.
It wasn't a lot of fun.
No, it wasn't.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Getz. He throws, Gio does, and it's dribbled down the first base line, foul. And the count holds at 0-2. We're in the second. There's no score. The A's against the Royals.
He made a heck of a tag on Pennington. Looking at the replay, he definitely did get him on the leg before the hand got to the bag, but Bob Melvin wanted to be sure, went out there.
Here's the 0-2 pitch by Gio, and it swung on and popped up foul straight back, and the count holds. No balls and 2 strikes.
It wasn't so much that Pennington was excited about the call, which he thought was a bad call, just that Bob Melvin thought he saw something. He wanted to discuss it.
Here's the 0-2 pitch by Gio, swung on and foul back, and the count holds. Outman, who pitched great, as we've been saying last night, his next start will come on Tuesday of next week. The A's will fly to New York on Monday, and they'll begin that series against the Mets on Tuesday night, and that'll be Outman's start. Gio to Getz, check swing, down and away. They appeal to third and no. 1-2 to Chris Getz.
I would imagine that in the meetings for Josh Outman leading up to that first game against the Mets, statement number 1, don't let Jose Reyes beat you. He has had a heck of a year so far for the Mets.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's swung on, dribble foul to the right, and the count holds. Don't let Cleon Jones beat you either.
I wonder if Ron Swoboda will make a circus catch out there in right field.
The 1-2 with 2 out. We're in the second. There's no score. And here is Gio's pitch, and Getz pops it up. Short center field. Pennington going back weeks from second. Jamiel is calling for it, and he makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the second here at the Coliseum. In the rubber game of this 3-game series, it's the A's and Royals. No score.
Enjoy the ticket upgrade and enjoy the Capital Corridor Crossback. And there you go. Can I get a little mutt noise? One more time, a little louder.
Let's go A's!
Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
As we go to the bottom of the second, there's no score. Willingham leads off for the A's against Jeff Francis. Willingham, Jackson, and Sizemore for the green and gold. We'd love to see you this weekend. The A's against the Giants beginning at 7:05 tomorrow night. So here's Willingham against Francis, and the pitch to Josh is taken inside, and it's 1-0. Willingham is 0 for 5 lifetime against Francis. For the year, batting .231 with 10 home runs. Outfield plays into pull. Francis ready, the turn. Here's the pitch, and Willingham, it's a dribbler foul down the third baseline, and the count 1-1. We mentioned Francis drafted #1 by Colorado out of the University of British Columbia. The only other Canadian drafted higher was Adam Loewen, who was the 4th selection overall by Baltimore in 2002. The 1-1 pitch is a high fly ball to right, short right field, gets the second baseman giving way, and Francoeur is there to make the catch, 1 out. Adam Loewen, he didn't really make it with Baltimore.
He was a pitcher, right?
Yes, he was.
He's coming back as an outfielder right now in the Blue Jays organization. He's pretty close.
Kind of taking the Rick Ankiel approach.
Connor Jackson.
Here's Connor Jackson batting at .250, as Vince said. Great numbers against Francis. 16 for 38 with 4 home runs. Bottom of the second, no score. Here's the pitch on the way by Francis, and it's taken low. Speaking of Canadians from up in the British Columbia area, Rich Harden, and we talked about Rich last night, and working the 2 innings in a simulated game before the game yesterday. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's taken outside 2-0. The A's haven't made an official announcement, but as we've been saying, there's at least a possibility, maybe a probability, that Rich's next appearance will be in the minor leagues as part of a rehab assignment. The 2-0 to Connor Jackson is outside and is 3-0. And that is something that Mark Ellis is going to start on Saturday for Sacramento. Mark will begin his rehab in the Coast League on Saturday for the River Cats. The 3-0, and Jackson takes a strike on the inside corner, 3-1.
It'll be good to get Ellie back on the field to show that he's healthy. And then we'll see what lies ahead in terms of a decision for him and Jemiah Weeks.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Outside, off speed, Jackson walks. I think Francis is well aware of the numbers by Jackson against him. And he worked Connor carefully, walked him, and that'll bring up Sizemore. Ellis will be scheduled anyway to play 3 games for Sacramento, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then if all goes well, he would fly to New York on Tuesday, and he's eligible to come off the DL on Wednesday. And that's the middle game of that 3-game set. 1 out, bottom of the second, runner at first. Sizemore, right-handed hitter, and he looks at a strike on the inside corner, 0-1.
You have to stay back, and then stay back some more when you're facing Francis. More changeups and curveballs and fastballs for him.
Here's the pitch, and it's taken outside. You were talking about hockey earlier with Jeff Francis. Remember the great hockey player Boom Boom Geoffrion?
Well, it became greater after the fact when you started doing those beer commercials.
Supposedly the Jeff, you know, his first name comes from Boom Boom Geoffrion. The 1-1 pitch, off speed, high and outside, 2-1, as Jeff Francis's grandfather apparently was just a huge hockey fan.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a shock. 2-1. Sizemore, right-handed hitter. Here's the stretch by Francis. Ready, checking the runner at first. Kicks and throws, and it's swung on and missed in the count, 2-2. This is Sizemore's 8th game with the A's, and he's done well. 8 for 21 with 5 RBIs. 22 games earlier this year in the big leagues for the Tigers. 1 out, runner at first, that's Jackson. Bottom of the second, 0-0. And the pitch to Sizemore is low, and it's 3-2. 9th inning, Rangers and Yankees tied up 2-2. Baltimore beat Toronto 4-3. The Tigers are leading Cleveland 6-2 in the ninth. Minnesota shut out the White Sox 1-0. Now here's a 3-2 by Francis. A move to first, not in time.
Yeah, that's a great model for the A's to pay attention to because they're ravaged by injuries as well. Certainly guys like Mauer and Morneau are not around right now, though Joe's going to be back in there tomorrow. But they've won 11 of their last 13.
Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. Jackson not running, and Sizemore hits it foul straight back. Sizemore's always had a good eye. The one thing that attracted the A's to Sizemore, the on-base percentages, up over 400 for much of his time in the minor leagues. He's batting with a count of 3-2. Here's the delivery, and Sizemore hits it up the middle, back a second, into center for a base hit. Jackson's around second, holding there as Cabrera plays it back, and Sizemore right up the spine of the diamond. A shot up the middle for a base hit, and the A's have something going with runners at first and second.
Well, you've just got to really trust the up the middle approach, which is what Sizemore had in that at bat. A pitch that got a lot of the plate, a little more of a cutter that got to the inside part of the plate, but he was able to stay inside the ball and hit it sharply up the middle. The thing that a guy like Francis is hoping that you're going to do is you're going to roll over on a lot of those pitches, and that wasn't the case.
The thing about Sizemore and Weeks, and they've both been with the A's for just a little over a week now, they've done everything the A's have asked of them offensively. Here's Suzuki, a right-handed hitter. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the second, no score. The A's against the Royals. Francis sets. Here is the pitch, off speed for a strike, 76 miles an hour. The Royals, of course, in the Central, where when the day began, the Indians and Tigers were in a virtual tie, with the White Sox back by 4.5 and KC back by 7. Suzuki batting .232. The runners lead from first and second. Francis throws, and it's swung on line to left. That's going to sink for a base hit. Jackson had to wait, so he goes to third, and the A's have the bases loaded. So Connor waiting just to make sure that Mitch Meyer, the left fielder, didn't catch the ball. Sinking line drive, base hit to left by Suzuki. He's at first, Sizemore's at second, and Jackson's at third.
Well, again, getting another changeup off speed pitch down and away, and good to see Suzuki make solid contact. And I think that apprehension by Connor Jackson, that's the difference. If he breaks on contact, I wonder what Gallego would have done if he would have potentially sent Jackson. Maybe not. What you want to see now from Barton is he's likely going to get some cutters and curveballs away, just to go with that pitch and do what he did last night, late shoot it to left center.
Well, if the ball is hit to right field, there's no decision with Francoeur out there in that gun. So now the bases are loaded. The Royals play the infield double play depth, and here's Barton, and Francis deals, and Derek takes outside, and it's 1-0. Barton delivered an RBI single last night. 215 with 18 RBIs. No score, bottom of the second. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 delivery by Jeff Francis on the way. High, off speed, 2-0. Shortstop Escobar is really playing Barton to pull. Just a couple steps left of the bag at second. 2-0. Jemile Weeks on deck. Outfield slightly toward left. And the 2-0 pitch, and it's swung on and bounced back to first. Fair ball. Betemit goes to second for 1, and that's all they get. And the A's take a 1-0 lead. A hard slide into second by Suzuki. So the force at second, 3-6 from Betemit to Escobar. Scoring from third was Jackson, and the A's take a 1-0 lead. Out number 2. And the Athletics have runners at first and third.
I did roll over on the off-speed pitch, and Betemit, right-handed first baseman, got rid of it in quick enough time. But Suzuki, in a situation where he was able to use the legs and sweep far outside the bag at second, even though his hand could reach it, with Escobar going to his left, he didn't like the contact.
So here's Weeks, a switch hitter batting right. Runners at first and third, 2 out, 1-0 A's. Here's the pitch to Jemile. Taken low. I was asking Bob Melvin about Francoeur and his arm today, and just simply asked him, do you think Francoeur has the best arm in baseball? And Melvin said yes. He just makes it really tough on the third base coaches. 1-0. Here's the turn and the delivery to Jamiel, and that's taken a strike, and it's 1-1.
Now the thing that helped the A's in that situation, getting the run, was Bedamit being a right-handed thrower. Now Hosmer has been very smooth at first base for the Royals. He's left-handed, and he's shown quick actions. He might have been able to get the ball quick enough for Escobar to avoid contact.
So the 1-1 pitch to Weeks. Francis to the plate, and Jamiel hits it to left center field, up the alley. Nobody's there, and that's going to the wall. 1 run is in. Barton's around second. He's going to third. They're going to wave him. Barton's around third. Here's the throw to the plate. The slide. He barrels into Pena. He scores, and winding up at third of the play is Weeks, and the Athletics take a 3-0 lead. A double, 2 RBIs. Weeks goes to third on the throw. I think it was going to be a fairly close play at the plate. The ball and Barton arrived at the same time, and Pena actually never had the ball, and Derek and Pena was right in front of the plate in the baseline, and Derek he had no choice to run right into Pena. Jamiel Weeks comes through again for the Athletics, and the A's lead 3-0.
Well, we were told before he came up here that he was a better hitter from the right side of the plate. Of course, he's done well from both sides, but of course a lot of conversation about plays at the plate in this neck of the woods, and Pena, he planted himself before he had the ball, so he knew he was going to get a collision, and that's exactly what happened.
So here's Coco, switch hitter batting right, and the pitch to him, off speed, breaking ball, outside corner, 0-1. Boy, Jamiel Weeks, what an impact he's made. Here's the 0-1 on the way. Coco pops it foul right side. A long run. Bedamit racing toward the bullpen. He's not going to get there. And the count 0-2. Weeks is 10 for 29 in 9 games.
Really finished the swing on that pitch from Francis. Of course, with a guy like Francis, you know you're not going to be overpowered. And that allows you to be confident in the box.
Now Francis peeks over his shoulder at third, working from the stretch, with the A's leading 3-0. The 0-2 pitch is a line drive right center. That's a base hit. Trotting home from third is Weeks. Holding at first with a single is Crisp. And now it's 4-0 A's. A line shot into right. A 4-run bottom of the second for the green and gold.
And 3 of them happening with 2 outs, which is always a backbreaker for the opposition. Francis unable to close out the inning. Left the pitch up. Got a inner half for the plate, but Coco was able to force it over second base.
So here's Pennington is 1 for 1. He had that infield single back in the first. 2 out, 4-0 A's. Francis out of the stretch and moved to first. You look at Weeks though, Vince. In 9 games, he's got 10 hits. 2 doubles, 3 triples, 4 runs batted in. He's scored 6 runs, and he has a stolen base. Here's the pitch to Pennington. It's outside, and the count 1-0.
You know, when you're a minor league player, you just don't know when that time is going to come. And when you're on the major league level and that guy gets promoted, you hope that he's ready to hit the ground running, and that has been the case with Weeks.
Now the 1-0 pitch to Pennington. Matsui waiting on deck. Jeff Francis, the set. He is ready. The kick, here it is, and it's taken low, and it's 2-0. Think about Francis. Now, he doesn't dazzle you with his stuff. He's a soft tosser, but he's given the Royals innings at least, as he's gone at least 6 1/3 in each of his last 7 starts. But he's had a rocky bottom of the second today. And the 2-0 pitch. The kick, it's on the way, and that's taken for a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. The Royals pitching has been better last week and a half or so, but still their team ERA is last in the league. The 2-1 pitch to Pennington on the way. Francis deals. It's swung on, dribble foul, third base side, And the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Oakland A's radio network. Along with Vince Cotroneo and Ray Fosse, I'm Ken Korak. It's great to have you with us. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out to Pennington. Francis a move to first, not in time. The A's offense has awakened here in this bottom of the second.
For Francis in the game against the A's in Kansas City, it was a 25-pitch first inning. We surrendered the 2 runs. Today it's a 30-pitch second inning so far for the 4 spot.
The 2-2 pitch by Francis, a move to first, not in time. He is Francis. Francis. In the case of my daughter's middle name, it would be ES.
Oh, okay. You don't hear Francis a whole lot anymore these days. That's old school.
So the 2-2 pitch, and it's swung on a ground ball down to short. Here's the flip by Escobar to second in time for the force, but the A's rock Francis with a 4-run bottom of the second, and after 2, it's 4-0 A's.
Safely. Leading off the top of the 3rd inning for Kansas City, and batting in the 9th position, shortstop, number 2, Alcides Escobar.
He has K'd 4 through 2 innings, and with some help from Jemiah Weeks, the big 2-out 2-run double, the A's have a 4-0 advantage. Escobar, the 9 batter, has been some kind of hot. He shows bunt, takes a fastball strike. 8 games in a row with a hit has boosted his average to 245. He's had a long way to go to get that up there. He's 12 for 19 on the trip. 16 RBIs, a pitch, a curve, it's inside. 1-1 the count. Escobar last year hit just .235 for Milwaukee. 4 home runs, 41 driven in. He was their top prospect in 09 and 010. 1-1 pitch, fastball grounded right back to Gio. He gloves it, turns, steps and throws, and there's 1 out.
Yeah, we had to come down.
As routine as a comebacker as you will find. And we could just see the body language of Gio. He's not quite as lithe as he has been in the past. His shoulders are slumping a little bit, but the results in terms of once he lets the baseball go has been rather impressive. And now the second time through, here comes Mitch Maier, lefty on lefty here, with Alex Gordon getting the first part of today's game off. First pitch fastball in there for strike 1. Good life at 92. Maier struck out on a high fastball to start the game. Out of the University of Toledo, a #1 pick back in 03. Fastball in there for strike 2 call. At 263 last year. Maier will turn 29 at the end of this month. Stands deep in the box, off the plate, and the 0-2. Fastball taken high. That's the one he chased back in the first inning. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. His first Major League RBI came against the A's in July of 2008. The windup and the 1-2. Fastball again upstairs. Meyer watches it go by. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the third. A's leading 4-0, trying to win back-to-back games for the first time in June. The 2-2. Fastball came inside, and it's grounded outside of first base. Staying with the hard stuff here against Meyer, with Cabrera waiting on deck. Last year was Meyer's first full season in the majors. He had bounced up and down as far back as 2006 when he got in 5 games with the Royals. As a bat tapping on his back shoulder. 2-2 is high. And now fills the count at 3-2. Gio was 0-2 on Meyer. Now he's run the count out. He has walked 1 today. He walked 7 against the White Sox his last time out there. His payoff pitch. Fastball high. Ball 4. So 1 out walk puts Meyer aboard. And that'll bring Melky Cabrera to the plate. Ground ball base hit up the middle. First ball swinging back in the first inning.
Melky Cabrera.
Cabrera most recently in the American League with the Yankees in 2009. They went to Atlanta last year. Hit 13 home runs for the Yankees in 09. He's got 9 in his return back to the American League with Kansas City. Switch hitter batting right. Swings at the first pitch, grounds at the short. Picked up by Pennington. Flipped to Weeks for 1. On to Barton. Good stretch, and he's off the bag. And safe at first is Cabrera. The throw offline from Weeks. It pulled Derek toward home plate, and now here comes Bob Melvin, who's going to add Mike Estabrook to the list of umpires he's going to discuss some plays with today. After earlier, when Cliff Pennington was caught stealing in the first inning, he had a conversation with Bill Welke at second base. So Meyer is out at second. The play goes 6-4. It's a double play. The A's absolutely should have turned, and Weeks' poor throw put Barton in a difficult spot. And I think from Bob Melvin's point of view, he has seen the stretch by Barton in the past, and he felt like he stayed on the base long enough to get the call, but that's not the way it's going to turn out. And looking at the replay from our friends at MLB, I think Bob Melvin has a beef.
I think he was on it briefly, came off, and might have gotten back with his foot before Cabrera went by the bag.
So it leaves the door open for Jeff Francoeur. A's leading 4-0 here in the top of the third.
It wasn't a tough turn, though, for Weeks, and it wasn't a real good throw.
Francoeur struck out his first time up. Closed stance on the right side. Looks at a fastball too tight for ball 1. Well, again, we've said it since the first game that Jemile has played in the field for the A's. You're so used for so many years seeing the smoothness of Mark Ellis around the bag at second base. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's just not there yet for Weeks, and Mark has helped him out. He's offered some pointers for Weeks, but right now just not very smooth around the bag. And of course Mike Gallego he's in his back pocket also trying to help him out. Here's the 1-1. Fastball down and away, backhanded by Suzuki for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Francoeur has the pant legs pulled up as always. Energetic sort. And in the Royals organization for the first time this year, the 2-1. Grounded outside of third base. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He made his debut at the Rangers last year in the first week of September. He was acquired on the 31st, so he was eligible for postseason. He was 2 for 10 in the ALCS. Had 1 hit in the division series. He was hitless in the World Series against the Giants. Toss over to first base, and Cabrera almost was leaning the wrong way. He dives in with the hand. Francoeur did something last year that was last done by the A's Lenny DiNardo against the Yankees in July of 2008. Runner goes, the pitch is high. Suzuki's throw is late, and in with a stolen base is Cabrera. A high throw, a good jump for Cabrera, and stolen base number 9 on the year.
High throw in toward the third base side.
So he's in scoring position. A's leading 4-0, and Weeks took the high throw, tried to reach back with a sweep tag, and it didn't work. What Francoeur did last year was win a game against the Yankees being hit by a pitch. DiNardo did that, and now here comes Bob Melvin. Bob Melvin wants to talk to Tim Cheetah now at third base.
This is the umpire argument cycle.
He's got one more to go. He gets to Jeff Nelson. He will have completed it. I don't understand why he's talking to Tim Cheetah, though, in this particular instance. Bob Melvin is asking Cheetah maybe to provide some help to the second base umpire, Bill Welke.
He says to Cheetah, you're the crew chief here. Get the rest of your guys on the ball today.
And apparently Cheetah just told something to Bob Melvin which satisfied him for the moment. Because then Bob kind of raised his hand and said, okay, I heard what I wanted to hear. But you know what? This guy's pretty feisty. If he's got something he wants to know, well, he's just been thrown out of the game. That's the situation. Bob Melvin has been ejected from today's game. He just flipped the lineup card to Joel Skinner. 3-2 pitch swing and a miss. The inning is over. But the story continues. 5 Ks for Gio. Bottom of the third. The A's play without Bob Melvin the rest of the way. They lead it 4-0.
Designated hitter, number 55, Hideki Matsui.
Bottom of the third inning, the A's play on without Bob Melvin, ejected for the first time as the A's manager and the 20th time in his big league career with the Mariners and the Diamondbacks combined. 4-0 Oakland. Matsui, Willingham, and Jackson to bat here against Jeff Francis. The set and the pitch, slow curve outside to Godzilla for ball 1. Matsui popped up to shallow left his first time at the plate. Outfield straight away. Shortstop Escobar shading up the middle. The veteran lefty turns and delivers. Changeup misses the inside corner, ball 2. We didn't really see the ejection by Tim Cheetah of Bob Melvin, and then Bob came out and talked to the crew chief, and certainly Bob had some issues with the first base and second base umpires earlier in the game as Matsui clocks one to deep right field, and he has just hit number 499. Matsui is alive and well in the East Bay. He just creamed one from Jeff Francis. His 6th home run this year. His 3rd home run with Bob Melvin as the manager. Yeah, they're getting along just fine. And the A's lead it 5-0. That pitch was crushed over the barbecue terrace.
Utah.
He did it.
That's great. One away.
Well, I tell you what, there's going to be a little more anticipation now this weekend. Heck, even for the rest of today's game. Now Willingham bats, and he takes a changeup for strike one. 2-0 count right on the tee, and Matsui didn't miss it. The 5th home run the A's have hit against Royals pitching this year. 0-1 delivery outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. I guess we'll have to wait for the Bob Melvin show tomorrow to get all the explanations.
I'm bummed. I was looking forward to the argument cycle.
1-1 outside, ball 2. I'm sure Bob said something along the lines of, how many outs do we have to get here? How many guys were we playing against in the field? And didn't really attack the strike zone of Jeff Nelson. That's been rather consistent as Josh swings and lines one foul past third base to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, just great to see Matsui heating up for the A's, and just like we were told way back in spring training by the members of the Japanese media. 2-2 changeup outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He has more RBIs in the month of June than any other month in his major league career, and it's starting to pay off again now for the A's. 3-2 changeup, hit hard toward short, off the glove of Escobar on the backhand, and he can't handle it. So there's a base hit for Willingham. And now Connor Jackson will stand in.
Well, it started on Thursday in Chicago, and one of the first things Bob Melvin did was when he called Matsui into his office. And he said, "You're going to be a regular, and we need you."
Bob McClure, the pitching coach, out to the mound for the Royals. They're going to start their bullpen now with Oakland leading 5-0. Well, Bob Melvin recognized the resume of Matsui, and also I think he felt like, maybe I'm not 100% sure that you can give us production, but I'm going to give you every opportunity to show me that you can. And to Matsui's credit, he's done exactly that.
Well, let's face it. I mean, the A's don't have that many guys who can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Matsui 3 home runs in the last 7 games.
The conclusion of the conversation between McClure and Francis sends the pitcher coach back to the dugout, and as Kojak comes to the plate, Connor walked and scored in the second. 5-0 Oakland. A's playing without the services of the manager Bob Melvin, who was ejected in the top of the inning. Arguing a call at second base in the first, arguing a call at first base in this inning. Pitch outside and low to Jackson, a fastball off the mark.
Well, he could definitely get 500 today, but if he doesn't do it, now you look ahead to tomorrow. Lincecum for the Giants, a packed house at the ballpark.
Outfield playing Connor to pull. The left-hander sets, delivers off the plate wide. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Remember on a Saturday here several years ago when Barry Bonds hit number 714 against the A's off Brad Hall's.
Hit that ball to right center. The 2-0 changeup. That one just hugs the outside edge. I can hear the laptops at the far end of the press box going right now, really humming for the members of the Japanese media who have been here day in and day out with Hideki. His professionalism is unmatched, and we have to say the same thing for those covering him. They've been a lot of fun to be around. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, line softly up the middle. It's going to drop for a hit. Turning at second, on its way to third is Willingham, as Francoeur just now gets to it and plays it back in. So Jackson continuing his mastery of Jeff Francis, lifetime .420 hitter against him. Singles up the middle, 3 consecutive hits in the inning, and Mr. Francis has not been much of a mystery today against the A's as they have collected their 8th hit of the afternoon.
Well, you're right. The thing about Matsui is that none of this seems to affect him. I mean, he's just amazing that he's so even keel every day. Amazingly cooperative with the media.
Yep. Now Sizemore singled up the middle and scored back in the second. All A's so far today. They've got a 5-0 advantage. The stretch in the pitch with runners on the corners, backdoor curve, and it drops in for strike 1.
And it's really hard to comprehend how big Matsui is in Japan.
Moustakas off the line, even with the bag at third base. Bedamete holding the runner at first. Jackson, Willingham the runner at third base. There's nobody out. 0-1 pitch, a wave and a miss. 0-2 the count. Well, the things that he accomplished in Japan with the Yomiuri Giants, combined with his availability, I think is what makes him so special. I mean, Ichiro, for all that he's accomplished on both continents, is not as approachable as Matsui is. 0-2 curve outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outfield straightaway. Right-hander loosening in the bullpen for the Royals. The 1-2 swung on, popped up into right field, not very deep. Francoeur calling for it. Willingham looks to Gallego, my tagging, goes, why don't you bluff? And that's exactly what it did, as Francoeur sent a laser on the fly to the corner of home plate. Right on target, as always, from Francoeur, as Sizemore's retired for the first out. Right-hander Nate Adcock is loosening in the bullpen right now for the Royals, but Francoeur, we've seen enough in this series. I mean, he made the statement on Tuesday night when he threw out Connor Jackson trying to score on Kurt Suzuki's fly ball. Then last night when Matsui hit one to right field in the 6th inning with DeJesus, who's got better than average speed at third base, and the A's said, you're not going anywhere. That just shows you all you need to know about how Oakland respects that howitzer arm in right field. Now Suzuki, line to base hit to left, his first time up. Francis to the plate, and he delivers on the inside corner with a fastball, strike 1.
Well, the 3 guys in the league who are at the top of Mike Gallego's stop sign list are Jeff Francoeur, Shin-Soo Choo, and Ichiro.
It's a pretty good list. Kurt, right-hand batter, outfield playing him toward left. And the pitch, look out, it hit him. Fastball ran inside, hit off of his side, and he'll be awarded first base to load him up. We'll see how much longer Ned Yost can watch this. A's are leading 5-0. And now here comes Derek Barton. And maybe with Barton coming up, he wants to let him go one more batter. The A's and Service Champions Heating and Air Conditioning, sponsor of the Green Stampede Homework Club, are proud to donate $50 for every walk received by A's hitters today. Service Champions and the A's coming together to support kids and schools in our communities. Service Champions, quick, easy, essential. The A's have picked up 1 walk from Francis. He did come around to score, and that was Connor Jackson last inning. The set, the pitch, swung on, rolled up the first baseline. Bedamete gloves, and he will take it to first base by himself. Across the plate for the Athletics is Willingham. It's 6-0 Oakland. Jackson moves to third. Suzuki up to second. Barton gets his 2nd RBI today and his 20th of the season.
Now batting, second baseman, number 19, Jamal Weeks.
Here comes Jamal Weeks. He's got 3 hits in the series. He has scored 3 runs. A triple, a bunt single, and a double. Today, that double toward left center. He's got runners at second and third with 2 outs. 4 runs in the second, 2 more here in the third. And the pitch, a curve, and it drops in for strike 1. They've gone to the 11th at the stadium in the Bronx, and they are still tied at 2. C.J. Wilson threw 129 pitches in 8 innings and no decision for him. Brian Gordon made his starting debut in the big leagues for the Yankees and worked into the 5th. Here's the 0-1. Changeup hit hard toward right center field. Francoeur on the run. Going back over his shoulder. Hauls it in on the warning track under the out-of-town scoreboard. Even the outs right now are hard from Jamal Weeks. He gave it a ride, but the inning is over. The A's tack on 2 runs. Matsui hits number 499, and we're on to the top of the
Off the top of the fourth inning for Kansas City, number 16, Billy Butler.
Gio Gonzalez enjoying all the offense. A 6-0 lead for the A's in advance of the Giants coming to town this weekend. Butler, Bedamit, and Moustakas here in the fourth inning. Butler walked back in the first. Right-hand batter out of Jacksonville, Florida, swings and ropes one towards center field. Coco comes in, makes a shoulder-high catch. One pitch and one out as another line drive comes off the bat of the talented Billy Butler. But the A's had him defensed perfectly, and here comes Bedamit. There were about 1,000 tickets left for tomorrow's game between the A's and the Giants, and standing room only for the weekend of Saturday and Sunday. So if you are planning to try to get to the games this weekend for the A's and the Giants, I suggest you hit it about right now. First pitch, a strike to Bedamit. It's 0-1. Be great to have all the energy here in the ballpark and see if the A's can perform well and return the favor after they were manhandled by the Giants in San Francisco. A swing and a foul off to the right by Bedamit, and it is 0-2.
And you might see history tomorrow if it doesn't happen today.
Yeah, that'll be the best part of it all. Haven't had that kind of buzz around here, I think, since Jason hit number 400 for the A's. Talking about milestones in an A's uniform. 0-2 pitch. He overthrew the fastball, sailed up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Minnesota today on a Michael Kadire home run. They beat the White Sox 1-0. Nick Blackburn gets the win over Mark Burley. Twins have won 11 of 13. Matt Capps got the save. 1-2 pitch up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bedamit, who struck out swinging back in the first. The Tigers beat Cleveland as they went back and forth in that series 6-2. Max Scherzer survived the rocky first inning. Didn't allow anything else after that. Got his 9th win of the year. Fastball runs off the outside corner for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Scherzer joins John Lester as the only 9-game winners in the American League, and Cole Hamels and Roy Halladay, who each have won 9 for the Phillies in the NL. Mitch Talbot took the loss. 3-2 pitch swung on sky toward left center field. It's going to stay in the park, and Coco has a play looking up into the bright sky. He'll make the catch, and that is the second out. Baltimore ends a 4-game slide. They beat Toronto 4-3. Jason Birkin got the win in relief of Jeremy Guthrie. John Roush takes the loss. Save number 13 for Kevin Gregg, the ex-Blue Jay. J.J. Hardy, another home run, a 7th for Baltimore. Adam Lind pulled the Jays closer with number 14 in the bottom of the 9th, but they lose by a run. And Texas and New York play on bottom of the 11th, a 2-2 game. The set on the pitch, swing and a miss, blew a fastball right by Moustakas. 6-0 Oakland. Boston and Tampa Bay later on today with Clay Buchholz against David Price. That's at the Trop. Next pitch, fastball, a swing and a miss. It's amazing today how much life is on Gio's pitches. How late the swings are by the Royals on the fastball. They're just not picking up the baseball at all, and Gio's been staying right with it. Why change the script? It's worked so well. The windup, his 0-2 pitch. Fastball hit late and out of play behind third base.
And you just kind of go back to the fact that he's not feeling well.
As always, wearing the alternate gold top when he pitches at home. Royals in their alternate blue jerseys. Pennington shading up the middle. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball up at his shoulders. And Moustakas is down on strikes. That's a half a dozen for Gio Gonzalez. On to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's all Oakland. They lead at 6-0.
Coco Chris.
Bottom of the fourth inning, and the A's lead at 6-0. Top of the order with Coco Crisp, Cliff Pennington, and Hideki Matsui. Jeff Francis still out there for the Royals, trying to soak up some innings for Ned Yost. Coco today is lined to third, a rocket right into Moustakas' glove as he dove to his left, and then a base hit to right that drove in a run. Takes off speed, down and away, ball one. For Coco, it was his 22nd RBI of the year. Finish up the Big O Tires Road Report with a peek at the National League here in just a moment. Here comes the 1-0. Changeup, bounce left side in the hole, deep short, off the glove of Escobar. Wanted to plant and hurry the throw, he had no chance. It's another hit for Coco, his second today. Now Pennington is due. The Phillies win their 7th in a row. The Marlins have dropped 7 straight and 18 of 21. At one time, the Marlins were 10 games over 500. And with today's loss, they're now 5 games under. The Phillies, meanwhile, baseball's best. The A's will see them on the upcoming road trip, their 44th win today, as Cliff Lee has a complete game 2-hitter, and he defeats Javier Vasquez. Ryan Howard, a big opposite field home run, his 15th. Pennington at the plate now. A look at Coco, the pitch, a fastball, a strike at the belt, and it's 0-1. Pittsburgh and Houston played in the 9th inning, and the Pirates lead that game 5-3. Garrett Jones is 7th home run for the Pirates, who've had a heck of a season under Clint Hurdle, who's an early candidate for manager of the year in the National League. They win that game, the Pirates will be 2 games over 500. A changeup bloop behind first base over Betemeet. It fades out of play into the bullpen. One of the ball boys made the catch behind Adcock, who continues to loosen up in the bullpen for Kansas City. The Royals have got only 1 hit today off of Gio. That was a single by Cabrera, clean up the middle. It was the game's 2nd batter. 0-2 pitch, misses upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gio has walked 2 batters. He has K'd 6 along the way. Milwaukee and the Cubs going back and forth at Wrigley. Cubs lead that game 9-5, bottom of the 7th. Pena, Fukudome, Braun, and Kataris with home runs. 1-2 pitch off to the right side out of play, and it's 1-2. Now Alfonso Soriano has chimed in to make it 11-5 Chicago. Everything else later. The Cardinals suddenly slumping. They have dropped 5 in a row, and they're a game out of first place in the Central behind Milwaukee. The Nationals have won 5 in a row. New York at Atlanta, San Francisco at Arizona tonight. A look at first base. Crisp with the lead and the pitch. A changeup poked toward right. Francoeur will make the catch as it carried all the way out, and there is 1 out for Matsui. Big O Tires is your one-stop shop for name brand tires, wheels, alignments, oil changes, and scheduled maintenance. Call 1-800-NEW-TIRE or visit BigO.com for a Big O Tire store nearest you.
What are the TV ratings in Japan right now?
Boy, they are through the roof. Every at-bat now has the anticipation of Hideki Matsui hitting his 500th career home run in his time between Japan and the United States. He hit number 499 in the 3rd inning, a no doubter to right. Lefty on lefty. The set by Francis. A look at first base. He'll send a throw in that direction. Matsui, since Bob Melvin has taken over as manager last Thursday in Chicago, 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. He's got 6 on the year and 27 driven in. Upright stance deep in the box from the left side. Francis readies and delivers. The runner goes. The pitch is outside. The throw by Pena's late, and Coco's got to steal his 20th of the year. So Coco Crisp, his 20th steal, gets another RBI opportunity here for Matsui. Ball 1 to Hideki. Ellsbury leading the league with 24 steals from Boston. Coco now in 2nd place. Ball 1 the count. Francis kicks the lefty's pitch. It's down low with a changeup. Hideki had a notion but pulled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. John Trinidad informs us that it's just before 6 a.m. in downtown Tokyo. What, there's a big screen or two around one of the marketplaces showing this at bat. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch off the plate outside with a curve, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Willingham waiting on deck. A's leading 6-0. Matsui made it 5-0, leading off the third on a 2-0 pitch that he clocked over the wall in right field. See if he's got the green light. 3-0. Francis to the plate, and the pitch is downstairs, ball 4. Hideki does not expand the zone, and that'll be the last pitch today thrown by Jeff Francis. Matsui with a walk, and Ned Yost is on his way, and he will ask for the youngster Nate Adcock. A's winning this one 6-0. We'll come back to the Coliseum after this. He made 2 starts earlier this year. He's 1-0 with a 4.55 ERA. After the A's knocked Jeff Francis out of the game, just 3 1/3. He surrendered 9 hits and 6 runs, and still responsible for Matsui at first and Crisp at second. Adcock, 31 2/3, allowed 35 hits and 17 runs. He's walked 11 and struck out 18. Made 2 starts in May against the Cardinals and against the Rangers. Willingham stands in, trying to put a crowning blow on this one. He swings and fouls off a sinking fastball for strike 1. Josh 1 for 2, an infield hit and a run scored his last time up. Adcock against the Cardinals, no decision, but he threw 5 shutout innings against them on May 21st. They lost that game 3-0. Then the next game lasted just 2 2/3, but they came back and won it in 14, 12-7. He allowed 7 runs on 8 hits in that game. Fastball to the inside corner, strike. 0-2 from the Florida State League to the big leagues for Nate Adcock. 23 years of age, 6'4", 225 pounds. He's out of Vine Grove, Kentucky. Was a starter at Bradenton in the Florida State League a year ago. 11-7, a 3.38 ERA. 0-2 the count. The pitch swung on, chopped to third, and picked up on the backhand and foul ground by Moustakas. So the at-bat continues at 0-2 on Willingham. This is something the A's have not enjoyed at all in the month of June. I mean, the game that they did win in Chicago, they were down at literally their last strike, and Willingham was the guy that was up before Oakland rallied for the 4 runs at the top of the 9th inning and win that game and snap a 10-game losing streak. And then last night they hang on for dear life, which has been more the norm for the A's this year. They won it 2-1. Swing and a miss, good breaking ball down and away, and it finishes off Willingham. for Josh, his 74th strikeout on the year. That's the first K today recorded against Oakland pitching, after Francis did not pick up a strikeout in his 3 1/3. Now Connor Jackson, he has walked and scored and singled. A's leading it 6-0. The storyline from this point forward is getting Gio Gonzalez through the qualifying inning, a guy that's been under the weather today. He hasn't pitched like it, with 6 strikeouts, allowing 1 hit. And Hideki Matsui now sitting on 499 home runs. He hit that number back in the 3rd inning. First pitch to Connor is inside and low, ball 1. So the A's an opportunity to win back-to-back games for the first time this month. Still a lot of baseball left today, but it has been very one-sided and tipping in the scales of Oakland. Fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. The Aces have not had a laugher, and that's what this one has a chance to be. The last time you could say that was back on May 17th when they pummeled the Angels right here 14-0, and Gio was the starter that day, went 7 innings, allowed 1 hit. A fastball down low. 3 balls and no strikes on Connor Jackson. The A's cuffed around the rookie Tyler Chatwood that day for the Halos. Little did the A's know that would be followed up by being swept by Minnesota and San Francisco. Next delivery catches the inside corner. Now 3-1. Then they rallied back. They took 2 out of 3 from the Angels and swept the series against Baltimore. A's got back to 500 at that point at 27-27. And then disaster struck, and the A's are trying to recover from it. 3-1 slider over the inside corner. That's a full count now at 3-2. Chris with his lead at second. Matsui the same at first. And the payoff pitch. Runners go. Chopped to third, and it's a foul ball. Backhanded by Moustakas. So the at-bat continues for Connor Jackson. For the Royals, with all the excitement they do have with the youngsters, although not playing today, Eric Hosmer, but he is their everyday first baseman now. 37 games, batting .288. Mike Moustakas is at third base. Alex Gordon has shown signs of turning the corner offensively as their left fielder. They've got to get their pitching turned around. They're last in the league in ERA and last in starters ERA, which is better than 5. And now a balk is called by Bill Welke on Nate Adcock. Second base umpire whistled him for a balk, so the A's will move up 90 feet. Crisp to third base, and Matsui up to second. I don't know what else could go wrong today for Ned Yost's ball club. Brian Pena, the catcher, went out and had a word or two with the youngster. And what happened was Welke just kind of lost his footing a little bit as he was trying to come into the set position. His spike got caught on the rubber. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on a breaking ball. Connor went down to a knee with the cut, and the inning is over. No runs to hit. The A's leave 2. We've completed 4. Oakland leads Kansas City 6-0.
Number 27, Brian Pena.
Rookie Nate Adcock cleaned it up a little bit for the Royals with back-to-back strikeouts. But good news here, the A's lead at 6-0. And good news in New York, where the Yankees on a Brett Gardner base hit have just defeated the Texas Rangers in 12, 3-2. We're on to the fifth, and here's Ken.
Brian Pena leads it off for Kansas City against Gonzalez. 9 hits for the A's, 1 hit for the Royals, and Pena takes outside, and it's 1-0. Gio lights out through 4 as he has 6 strikeouts. And he's walked 2. Pena, switch hitter, batting right. Slight gap in the outfield and left center. Gio's delivery, a fastball taken outside, 2-0. So the Yankees sweep that 3-game series. And the Rangers have lost 5 straight overall in 8 of 10. And they're 36-34. The 2-0 to Pena is taken outside, now the count 3-0.
What a difference a year makes. They were 21-7 in the month of June a year ago.
Well, they had great success in interleague play. And that all begins again tomorrow. Here's Gio's 3-0 to Pena. Pena takes a strike in the outside corner, 3-1. Pena leading off for Kansas City, top of the 5th inning. The A's lead 6-0. A's got 4 in the second and 2 in the third. Gio's 3-1 pitch to Pena on the way, taken for a strike on the outside corner. The Rangers are going to Atlanta. They'll begin a 3-game series down there tomorrow night. Colby Lewis against Tommy Hanson. The 3-2 is swung on in line over the head of Weeks into right field for a base hit. Leaping try by Jamiel, and Pena lines a single to right.
The pitching liner, Jeff Francis.
Well, here's the way the end of that ball game sounded in New York.
6 runs, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts.
Now batting, number 17, Chris Getz.
3 1/3, 9 hits, 6 runs earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts, a good batter, and 1 home run. Francis threw 78 pitches, 46 strikes. 78, 46.
John Sterling on the Yanks radio network. Getz is batting for Kansas City. Takes a ball on the count, 1-1 for the Royals here in the 5th inning. A leadoff single to right center by Brian Pena, with the A's leading 6-0. That was the Royals' second hit. So Gio from the third base side gets a lefty hitter, and the pitch is swung on line to right. That's a base hit. Pena goes to second. He's going to stop there. Jackson plays it back, and the Royals trying to come back. They have 2 on with nobody out, and Alcides Escobar is coming up. Escobar is 0 for 1. He's been sizzling hot. 5 straight multi-hit games. 12 for 19 in his last 5 games. So Texas playing Atlanta in a 3-game series beginning tomorrow night. The Rangers are going to throw Colby Lewis, Matt Harrison, and Alexi Ogando in that set. Against Tommy Hanson, Derek Lowe, and Jair Jurgens. Here's Escobar, right-handed hitter. Runners at first and second. Gio with a breaking ball. Good pitch, a strike on the inside corner. Sizemore close to the bag over at third. Hitting room in left center. The A's, Gio's preference, the gold tops. He is working from the third base side of the rubber. Now the check of the runners. Here's the pitch by Gonzalez. Breaking ball in the dirt, and a good block by Suzuki. Meanwhile, the Mariners are hosting the Phillies. Remember, next week the A's go to New York and Philly. And the Mariners are going to throw Michael Pineda, Felix Hernandez, and Jason Vargas against the Phillies. Roy Oswalt against Pineda up at Safeco Field tomorrow night. Here's the 1-1 to Escobar by Gio, and a fastball outside, 2-1. Then the Angels play the Mets in New York. Mr. Met. The 2-1 delivery. Gio, here it is. It's on the way. Swung on, straight foul right side by Escobar on the count, 2-2.
I'd love to do a pregame show with the guy, but he doesn't talk.
Mr. Met doesn't talk?
No, he doesn't talk.
Really? Has he ever spoken? Well, you'll have plenty of opportunities. In fact, so many former Athletics in the front office for the Mets. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The A's are leading 6-0 in the 5th inning. Gonzalez, the pitch, a comebacker speared by Gio. He goes to Pennington. He bobbles into the transfer. The A's get the out at second base. They don't get the 1-6-3 double play, and the Royals, and that's the first out, have runners at first and third. So Cliff, in his haste to try to turn the double play, and they would have had a shot, although Escobar can run, in the transfer, bobbled the ball. So Escobar is safe at first. Getz is out at second, 1-6, and Pena's over at third.
Well, remember the play in Chicago when Brad Ziegler flagged down one off of Carlos Quentin's bat and just rushed to throw. It got there too quickly. This one, Gio took his time, made an accurate throw. But Cliff just, I mean, he certainly should have turned it.
So the A's on top 6-0. The Royals have runners at first and third, and the pitch to Mitch Myers taken outside for ball 1. The A's play the infield double play depth over third, even with the bag Sizemore. Lots of room in the outfield and right center. Melky Cabrera is on deck. 75 pitches for Gio. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's swung on foul back. A good fastball, 1-1. Well, speaking of the Mets, Sandy Alderson is running their ball club, and they have Paul DePodesta in their front office, J.P. Ricciardi. Terry Collins is their skipper. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Gio out of the stretch, he delivers, and it's swung on and missed. A good fastball, 93, and it's 1-2. Speaking of all that, did you see the trailer for the Moneyball movie?
I have not seen it yet.
I did see it last night, and I was thrilled because at the end of the trailer, and here's Gio with the 1-2 pitch. Here's the set. He turns and throws, and it's swung on and missed. He throws a fastball by him, and Meyer is down on strikes on a fastball at 93. But at the end of the trailer, and what I assume would be the movie's denouement, the 20-game winning streak for the A's and Hatteberg's home run, they played Bill King's call. You heard Bill say, "Crazy, just plain crazy." It's just great.
That's awesome.
So here's Cabrera, who singled and bounced into a force play. How do you explain it? Now Cabrera taking a strike at the knees, 0-1.
Who's in the trailer more, you or Brad Pitt?
I think that that old Korak is going to be on the cutting room floor.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Outfield straight away. Gonzalez to the plate, and the pitch taken outside, and it's 1-1 by Melky Cabrera. 6 runs on 9 hits for the A's. No runs on 3 hits for Kansas City. Jeff Francoeur is on deck. Here's the 1-1 pitch by Gio, and he throws. It's taken outside. It's 2-1. Gio looking for win number 6 this year. Came in with a 2.67 ERA. Boy, what a gorgeous day. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Gonzalez delivers. It's foul back. Unfortunately for Bob Melvin, he's spending at least this part of the day indoors. The A's manager ejected for the first time as the A's skipper. Gio's ERA still very much in the top 10 in the American League. He's number 6. And his pitch, and it's taken high and outside by Cabrera, 3-2. 2 out, 5th inning. A's lead 6-0, and the Royals have runners at first and third. And Escobar will be going from first. Barton informing Gio he's going to play behind the runner. Now the set, and the 3-2 is on the way. Foul back by Melky Cabrera, and the count holds.
We don't really know all the details of the health of Gio inning by inning, but he's at 84 pitches right now. It might feel like a little more than that for his body. If there's a way that you can get him through this inning and get one more out of him, that would be a huge lift given his circumstances.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Escobar running. Here's the pitch in. It's swung on. Drive into center field. Short center. A long run for Coco. He's not going to get it. It falls for a hit. So Pena scores, and Escobar goes from first to third. Cabrera dunks a single to center, and the Royals are on the board. 6-1 Athletics. Not well hit, but perfectly placed. And here comes Ron Romanek out to the mound. Just dunked into short center field, and the Royals have their fourth hit. So Romanek chatting with Gio. Hope you can join us here over the weekend. The A's against the Giants, 7:05 tomorrow, 7:05 on Saturday, and 1:05 on Sunday.
That's some breaking news from the world of golf.
Yes.
Dominic Cotroneo has his second hole-in-one.
Wow.
Number 6 at Trilogy with a 5-iron.
I thought you were going to say like number 10 at Congressional.
No. Nope, not there yet.
Here's Francoeur, right-handed hitter. Gio's pitch is foul back, out of play. The A's leading 6-1, and Gio trying to prevent a big inning here. Escobar is over at third. Cabrera's at first. Jeff Francoeur 1 for 17 on this Royals road trip. Here's the 0-1 pitch by Gio, and Francoeur takes Willie's got 2 more holes in one than I have.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Jeff Francoeur, the former #1 pick of Atlanta, a golden boy for them, a local kid coming up in their organization. Now the 1-1 by Gonzalez, and Francoeur drills one to left. Willingham back, it's over his head, and that's going to the wall. 1 run is going to score. They're going to stop Cabrera at third on a line shot, double to left by Francoeur. Escobar scored on the play, and now it's a 6-2 ball game. Boy, and that ball was hit right on the screws.
Yeah, there was nothing that Willingham could do this time. It wasn't a case of him hesitating. It was a rocket. It was over him in a hurry. He does play maybe a step or 2 in more than some left fielders, but I don't even think that would have made the case. I think right now you're just hoping that you can get Gio through this inning. I mean, the way it looks, it just seems like he is trying to. He knows what's at stake here. He knows what one more out would mean, especially with the lead. And it just seems like that's kind of wearing on him a little bit. He'd stay with the fastball with Francoeur, which he had a lot of success with in the first 2 at-bats, but not this time.
One more hit, and the Royals are back in this game. It's 6-2. Here's Billy Butler, a tough hitter, right-handed hitter. A breaking ball strike on the inside corner. Francoeur is at second, and Cabrera is over at third for Francoeur, his 42nd RBI. Coco in center, a couple steps toward right center, left and right straight away. Gio's 0-1 pitch to Billy Butler is taken outside, and it's 1-1. Wilson Benamed is on deck. 90 pitches for Gio. It's a good day to pitch. It's not too warm. Third base side of the rubber. The 1-1 pitch to Butler, and here it is, and Butler takes high. It's back to the screen, and ricochets back though to Suzuki, and the runners have to hold. He's got a break, a fastball up and away, and hitting just below the screen off the wood down there, and ricocheted quickly right back to Suzuki. And so Cabrera got back to third, and Francoeur got back to second.
Suzuki is right on his shoulder, taking him all the way back up to the mound. And you're right, I mean, he threw it so hard and so high. Fortunately made the right kind of contact. Didn't hit any soft padding back there. Would have died right behind home plate, and they would have had that second run.
So it's 2-1 to Butler. You wondered too, earlier in this inning they had the shot to turn that 1-6-3 double play. So the 2-1 count, and pitch to Butler with runners at second and third, and Gonzalez throws, and a breaking ball, good pitch outside corner at the knees, and now the count 2-2. So a big spot, big sequence in this game right now with the A's leading 6-2. But the Royals have 2 runners in scoring position. Benamed waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2 on the way. Swung on foul back, lower deck right side. Billy Butler, really a tough hitter. He's the most accomplished hitter on this ball club. Came in batting .302.
You talk about plate coverage. That's something he certainly has. Not afraid to go the other way. He's a line drive hitter.
Here's the 2-2 again, and it's taken high and outside. 3-2 is kind of maybe for this era or these years in the history of the Royals like a Mike Sweeney type of hitter. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The set, the kick, here it is, and it's swung on and missed. A fastball up and away, and Gio keeps the damage down. He gives up 2 runs, but the Royals leave runners at second and third. And halfway through our ball game today, after 4 1/2, the A's lead the Royals 6-2.
I'm here with childhood friends.
For the Athletics, third baseman, number 29, Scott Sizemore.
Scott Sizemore leads off for the A's. Our ball game goes to the bottom of the 5th. The A's lead the Royals 6-2 here at the Coliseum. Jeff Francis knocked out of this game in the 4th. 6 runs, 9 hits for the A's, 2 runs, 5 hits for KC. And Sizemore, right-handed hitter. Nate Adcock delivers a check swing foul to the right, and the count 0-1. The A's a 4-run second, a 2-run third. The centerpiece so far in talking about the scoring, the home run by Matsui, number 499. Nate Adcock got the last 2 outs of the 4th inning, throws to Sizemore, and that's taken for a strike in the outside corner. For Jeff Francis, 3 1/3, 9 hits, 6 runs earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Here's the delivery, and Sizemore takes a breaking ball outside 1-2. Watching Nate Adcock reminds me of a big right-handed hitter by the name of Joe Adcock, who was a great power hitter for many years in the National League. Then later in the American League, near the tail end of his career, low and outside for a ball at 2-2. On some of the great Milwaukee Braves teams of the late 50s and early 60s. Joe Adcock, he had a ton of power, along with guys, of course, like Henry Aaron and Eddie Matthews. Outside for a ball, and the count 3-2. Joe Adcock had 336 lifetime home runs. Hit 38 back in 1956. The 3-2 to Sizemore is sprayed down the right side, foul, out of play. Joe Adcock was about 6'4", about 220, 225. Played for the Reds, the Braves, the Indians, and the Angels. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. Sizemore dribbles it down the third baseline, foul. Of course, the Braves had some very good clubs. And the broken hearts in Milwaukee when they moved to Atlanta. Lost in a playoff to the Dodgers back in '59. The 3-2 pitch, and here it is. Sizemore takes low and outside. Scott walks. The A's have a start. The leading 6-2 here in the bottom of the 5th, and Suzuki's coming up. Kurt has singled, and he was hit by a pitch. Speaking of history, Vince, this weekend for the Royals, they're taking on the Cardinals in St. Louis. Of course, memories of the I-70 World Series, 1985. One of the most controversial and emotional, at least the 6th game, 7th game of that World Series. Won by the Royals. Here's a throw to first. Sizemore diving back. 6-2 A's. They have 9 hits. The Royals have 5 hits. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Of course, the Cardinals felt they had the thing pretty well wrapped up in Game 6. Now the pitch, and Suzuki a check swing, and he didn't make contact. The ball gets away from Pena, and up to second goes Sizemore on a pass ball. So a check swing, not played by the catcher Pena, and on the pass ball as Sizemore goes to second. The famous or infamous call by Don Denkinger at first base on George Orta. The 2-run 9th inning, the comeback by the Royals in Game 6. Then they blew away the Cardinals in the 7th game, 11-0, and that's when things really exploded as the Cards unraveled and Joaquin Andujar got kicked out of the game. 0-1. So Suzuki batting. Here's the stretch. And the pitch by Adcock, and Suzuki ground ball left side. Shortstop Escobar to his right. Fields in froze. Suzuki is out 6-3. Sizemore holds at second, and Barton's coming up.
Now batting, first baseman, number 10, Derek Barton.
Brett Saberhagen pitched the 7th game for the Royals in that series. And I was talking with Frank White earlier. Frank at the ballpark again today. He works on radio and television for Kansas City, and he said that really that 7th game there was so much momentum with the series turning around in the favor of the Royals after the 6th game. Here's the pitch, and taken by Barton, a ball 1-0. Sizemore is at second, 6-2 A's. As Frank said, once they got the lead in the 7th game, he said that that game was one of the easiest games that he ever played in, because they got the lead and they were full of confidence. And they were used to coming from behind. Barton takes a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. They had come back in the ALCS that year against the Blue Jays and had won the final game of that series, the ALCS in Toronto, besting Dave Stieb, South Bay product. Here's the 1-1 on the way, and Barton swings and hits it foul to the right of home plate. The A's are leading. We're in the bottom of the 5th on this Thursday, and the final game of the series, the deciding game. The Royals come back here in September. A's lead 6-2. Of course, for Frank White and the veteran Royals, there was so much disappointment in the late 70s. Those 3 ALCS losses, those playoff losses to the Yankees, outside for a ball on the count 3-2, including what Frank called just the ultimate heartbreaker in 1977. But they broke through and they beat the Yanks in the ALCS in '80, then lost to the Phillies in that World Series. The 2-2 to Barton is low and outside. Now the count 3-2.
It was a lot like in the 50s when the Yankees and the Dodgers kept on playing each other in the World Series, and the Yankees kept on winning, and the Dodgers finally got one in '55. He kept on trying, and he knocked on the door. Eventually, it might get knocked down.
Johnny Padres in '55 for the Dodgers. 3-2. Here's the pitch, and Barton hits it foul straight back. Sizemore's at second. 5th inning, 6-2 A's. Well, the A's can relate. You know, the A's had great clubs in 2000, and an even greater club in 2001, losing to the Yankees in the 5th and deciding game each year.
Texas had that going until this year when they finally conquered New York in the postseason.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Barton waits. Adcock deals. Outside corner, ring him up. Derek was thinking it was ball 4. He had flipped the bat away. So Barton K's 2 away, and Jamal Weeks is coming up.
Now batting, second baseman, number 19, Jamal Weeks.
Jamal has doubled and flied to right. Drove in 2 with his 2-base hit, and that was part of the A's 4-run second. 6-9-0 for the A's, 2-5-0 for Kansas City. Craig Breslow's up in the A's bullpen. Here's the pitch to Weeks, a switch hitter batting left, a strike in the outside corner. Crisp is on deck. Outfield toward left. Here's the pitch by Adcock and taken high, and it's 1-1 yet. Joe Adcock, one of those early Angels who played for Bill Rigney when they were the LA Angels. Well, I guess they've come full circle. They're the LA Angels again. 1-1. Sizemore is at second. Breslow throwing in the bullpen. Adcock from the stretch now steps off the rubber. Coco Crisp is on deck for the A's. There's just one night game in the American League, and that's the Red Sox playing Tampa Bay and St. Pete. Here's the 1-1 pitch by Adcock, and Weeks hits a ground ball into right for a base hit. Around third is Sizemore. Up with the ball is Francoeur. Here's a throw to the plate, and scoring is Sizemore. He goes around Pena, who bobbled the ball and never held it. Sizemore scores. Weeks goes to second on the throw, and the Athletics take a 7-2 lead. Jemile Weeks have a first week and a half in the big leagues. 2 hits today and 3 RBIs. A's on top 7-2.
Sharply hit through the right side, and even with that, with Francoeur having to come a long way to get to that baseball, he still makes it very interesting at home plate. The way he gets to it and gets rid of it in a hurry on the fly, but just a hair too late.
Here's the pitch to Coco, swung on a drive into right center field. Cabrera going over, he's there, and he makes the catch. Crisp flies out, but the A's add on, and after 5, the A's lead the Royals 7-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to Diamond Vision.
We go to the 6th inning here at the Coliseum. The A's are on top of the Royals 7-2. The A's have 10 hits. And Wilson Betemit leads it off for KC against Gio Gonzalez. So Gio stays in the ballgame. Breslow warming up behind him. Betemit, Moustakas, and Pena. And Gio's pitch, here it is. That's taken high and outside for a ball 1. Well, you're right on the play by Francoeur, Vince. Sizemore scoring from second on the base hit to right by Jemile Weeks. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swung on, foul back. Francoeur is the only outfielder in the game who even makes that an issue at the plate. And he fired on the line to the plate, and Pena had to come slightly, though, to his left to home plate, maybe a step and a half left of the plate, and Sizemore going around him to the foul territory side. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and taken outside 2-1.
Well, he just doesn't give up on any play. And as a third base coach or as the base runner, you cannot. You have to believe that there's going to be a play at the plate anytime you're trying to score on him.
Here's the 2-1 delivery now to Bettamy, taken for a strike on the outside corner. 2-2. Speaking of plays on the bases, you might recall in the 6th inning yesterday, the A's had Landon Powell at second base and Weeks at first, and they bunted with David DeJesus, and the Royals got a force at third. Here's the 2-2 delivery, swung on and missed, and Bettamy is down on strikes. So with the A's leading 7-2, that'll bring up Mike Moustakas. And Bob Melvin was saying today, listen, not that you want to have somebody thrown out on the bases. Landon Powell was thrown out. They forced him at third. But he said, listen, in that situation, you know, I understand that Landon Powell doesn't run that well. We're trying to move him up. But if he gets thrown out at third, now I've got speed guys on the bases. It's not the worst thing in the world if he gets thrown out. Because now the A's had Weeks at second, DeJesus at first. He said, now I can run, I can steal, I can hit and run. Here's the pitch to Moustakas, the 0-1 by Gio, swung on foul back out of play, and Weeks did steal third eventually in that half inning, scored a run, and that was DeMiles' first major league stolen base.
Yeah, if you let DeJesus swing away and for some reason he doesn't hit the ball well, it's a routine fly ball, let's say the outfield, you're not going to move Powell up.
Now the pitch, a ground ball to the right side, weakly hit wide of the bag. Barton's got it, flipped to Gio, covering on the bag, 3-1. And Gio trying to settle down after that rocky 5th inning. 2 outs quickly here in the 6th. A's leading 7-2, and Brian Pena is coming up.
I mean, for me, this is pretty impressive just from the standpoint from what we knew before the ball game, realizing that he wasn't at 100%. It would have been easy with the lead to say give it to the bullpen, and maybe Gio in a conversation with Ron Romanek in the dugout, and possibly even with the bench coach Joel Skinner now running things with Bob Melvin back in the clubhouse, is that maybe Gio said, look, I can give you another inning. Let me get out there. And to his credit, he's been effective.
He's really pitched well.
Now, the A's, if they're going to go anywhere, if they're going to make any kind of move, it has to come from the mound, from their pitchers, and Gio's sending a sign today.
So Pena, switch hitter, batting right. The A's leading by 5 and a strike on the inside corner. He's walked only 2. He has 9 strikeouts. He's given up 5 hits. He's leading by 5. The pitch to Pena, and Pena check swing. They appeal to first and no swing, and the count 1-1. And through all of this, the A's are still leading the American League in ERA. The 1-1 pitch, low and outside, 2-1. As we've been saying, with the injuries, you look at guys like Outman and Moscoso, they've carried their weight. 2-1 pitch to Brian Pena, high, 3-1. Outman, after the game yesterday, he's 2-1 with a 3.14. He's made 5 starts. And Moscoso is 2-3, a 3.91. Here's the delivery, and Pena fouls it back out of play, and the count 3-2. Two out, 7-2 A's, 6th inning. Gonzalez to the plate, and here it is. And ring him up, fastball, strike 3 called, 93 miles an hour at the knees. A perfect pitch. Strikeout number 10 for Gio Gonzalez. We go to the bottom of the 6th. A's 7, Kansas City 2.
Hitting off the bottom of the sixth inning for the Athletics, shortstop, number 2, Cliff Pennington.
And Pennington, Matsui, and Willingham against Nate Adcock. Whereas Hideki is sitting on $4.99. Now the pitch. Here's a delivery by Adcock on the way, and that's taken a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. The windup, Adcock's 0-1 pitch, and it's swung on, bounce, foul down the first base line. In the history of Japanese baseball, 8 players have reached 500 home runs. 25 have done it over here, outside for a ball, and the count 1-2. Matsui has hit 167 home runs in the big leagues and 332 in the Japanese leagues. And the pitch is a drive into center field. Melky Cabrera going back, calling for it, fighting the sun out there in center, and he makes the catch. 1 away. A's leading 7-2, and here's Matsui. Fly to left, homered, and walked. Godzilla. Man, has he given the A's a lift over the last week. Remember that the Rangers lost their ball game to the Yankees in 12 today, 3-2. Texas is only 2 games over 500. So here's Matsui, almost the full shift on the infield. Adcock turns. Here's the pitch to Hideki, and a sinker low, and it's 1-0 with Willingham on deck. Matsui has 6 home runs this year.
He's looking thigh high, belt high, inner half of the plate.
Now the right-hander with a sign. Here's the windup, the pitch to Matsui, and that's taken for a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Hideki Matsui. Adcock with a sign, the right-hander delivers. Here's the pitch, the 1-1, and a breaking ball for a strike, and the count 1-2. Hideki's major league debut with the Yankees was on March 31st of 03. Deep in the box, an even stance with 1 out and nobody on. Here's the windup and the 1-2 pitch on the way, and the dirt gets away from Pena, and the count 2-2. In that first year back in 03, he batted .287, 16 home runs, 106 RBIs, 31 home runs in 04. Just turned 37. And the 2-2 delivery to Matsui is taken outside, 3-2. That awesome birthday cake in Chicago on Sunday outside the A's clubhouse. So the count 3-2. The A's are leading 7-2 in the 6th. Adcock turns, he delivers, and Matsui swings, and a foul tip. He stays alive, and the count holds at 3-2.
He's kind of hoping for a little more buzz here in the Coliseum. In anticipation with his at-bats, guys maybe on their feet. A little more energy for Hideki, maybe help him along the way.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, sitting on $4.99. And Adcock out of the windup. Has the sign from Pena. Pena sets up outside. The pitch is a bouncy ball to the right side, taken near the bag at first by Bettamy, and he goes to the bag for the out. So Matsui is retired, and Willingham is coming up. Couple notes, Vince, on the A's pitchers. We talked about Rich Harden and the simulated game yesterday. Tyson Ross is going to throw another bullpen session tomorrow. He won't be facing hitters, but somebody will be standing in there to simulate having a batter in the batter's box. And then Brandon McCarthy will be facing hitters on Saturday. Willingham 1 for 3 with a single. A's lead 7-2. He takes outside, ball 1. For McCarthy, kind of one of those deals that a cross between throwing batting practice and a simulated game. The 1-0 now, and Willingham swings and misses, and the count 1-1. So things are looking up on the pitching front. Adcock's delivery, the 1-1 to Willingham, waved at breaking ball on the count 1-2.
So you think right around the All-Star breaks when the A's may again have signs of a little more depth, a little more length in their pitching, which will only help in the second half.
2 out, nobody aboard, and the pitch. Willingham fastball inside, kind of a quick pitch action that time from Adcock. A little bit of what we saw from Hochevar last night.
Talked to David DeJesus about that today, and Hochevar told him that the only other batter they had done that to was Jose Bautista. So pretty good company, because they know David's routine is such that he likes to take his time settling in, and he kind of barked out at his former teammate of, "What are you doing out there?"
It's like an abbreviated windup, not the here's the full windup now, and Willingham a check swing comebacker down to get it, taken by Adcock, throws a strike to first for the out, and the A's go down 1-2-3, and after 6 the A's lead the Royals 7-2.
Gio goes 6 innings, allows 2 runs on 5 hits, walked 2, struck out 10. Jemile Weeks leading the way with 3 RBIs. Devine coming on and appearing for the 14th time. He's 0-1 with a 2.84 ERA. The right-hander with a little stutter step in the pitch. A fastball right through the heart for strike 1. Taken by the 8th batter, the second baseman, Chris Getz. He has popped a second single through the right side. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball to the outside corner, just a hair off. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. Joey worked 2 days ago, 1 inning, allowed 2 runs. The game which the A's lost 7-4 on Tuesday night. The pitch swung on, bounced on the right side, waiting for it as Weeks backs up on it, bobbles it, regains, throws, not in time. And that'll be an error charged on Weeks. The A's have gone now 7 consecutive games with committing at least 1 error, and for Jamal, that's his first in the big leagues. Kind of ate him up a little bit. He laid back on it, and when it hit off the heel of his mitt, that's when he couldn't recover. So Getz aboard, and here comes Escobar, looking to extend his hitting streak to 9 games. He has tapped one back to the mound, reached on a fielder's choice when the A's did not turn the double play, and then he later scored one of the 2 runs in the 5th inning. First pitch from Joey off the outside corner, ball 1. Devine 12 2/3 has allowed 4 runs on 8 hits. He's walked 3 and struck out 8. Off the first base side of the hill, fires, and it's down and away. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Mitch Meyer waiting on deck. Don't forget, for Ned Yost, at his disposal, if the time is right, he's got Alex Gordon and Eric Hosmer, a couple of left-handed batters available to maybe do some damage. 2-0 pitch inside, 3 balls and no strikes. Gio Gonzalez on the day when he didn't feel 100%. The numbers indicated anything but, with the line of 6 innings and the 10 strikeouts. Struck out the side in the 1st inning. Had at least 1 strikeout in every inning pitched today. The 3-0 to the inside edge, a called strike, and it's 3-1. Graham Godfrey tomorrow against Tim Lincecum. First pitch at 7:05 tomorrow night. Just a handful of tickets remaining for the game tomorrow. Standing room only for the weekend. Our coverage begins at 6:30. Here's a 3-1. Fastball runs inside off the plate. So the first 2 batters reach, an error and a walk, and the Royals are trying to climb back in this one. Down by 5, and here comes Mitch Meyer. Joey Devine's going to go off the back slope of the mound, wipe some of the sweat from his brow, and rub up the baseball, try to get this thing back on track. Meyer is K'd twice and walked today. 7-2 our score. A's leading. They've doubled the hit total of Kansas City. 10-5. Outfield playing Meyer, left-hand batter to pull. Infield looking to turn 2. The pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. 92-mile-an-hour sinking fastball. Bob Melvin ejected back in the 3rd inning today, top of the 3rd, after arguing with both the second base umpire Bill Welke and the first base umpire Mike Estabrook earlier in the game on plays around those bags. 0-1 pitch, a wave and a miss. 0-2. And then following that, he went out and discussed it with the crew chief, Tim Cheetah. Cheetah allowed him to have his say, and then Bob handed the lineup card to Joel Skinner. The stretch and the 0-2. Missing up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Grant Balfour was not used in last night's game. Andrew Bailey did notch the save with a 1-2-3 ninth. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Important juncture in the 7th inning for the A's, leading by 5, but the Royals threatening with 2 on and nobody out. Meyer does not have a home run in his part-time play this year, only 31 at bats. The 2-2. Fastball, strike 3 called at the knees on the outside corner. Meyer didn't think so. Has a word or 2 for Jeff Nelson, and he's gone a looking. That is strikeout number 11 by A's pitching, and the first for Devine. And that'll bring Melky Cabrera to the plate.
Melky Cabrera.
Cabrera singled in the 1st. He had the only hit through the first 4 innings for the Royals. Reached on a fielder's choice, stole a base in the 3rd, singled again, a flare to center to drive in a run. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it at the plate for strike 1. A's against the Giants on the other side of the bay in May, lost 2-1 in 10, 3-0, and 5-4 in 10 innings. Look back at second, the 1-strike pitch. Swung on, fouled off near the A's dugout, over the dugout and into the lower seats. It's 0-2. It was Cahill and Vogelsong in the first game, and the Giants won that game on a walk-off single by Aubrey Huff. Second game, Brett Anderson lasted 5, came out of the game. It was a complete game for Tim Lincecum. Remember the game, he threw 133 pitches. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, popped up, foul ground. Third base side, give a chase, Sizemore over the shoulder. Can he get to it? He does not, as he runs up and on and over the A's bullpen mound. And the at-bat continues for Cabrera at 0-2. And there had been some conjecture about the fact that Lincecum had thrown that many pitches in a game to get the complete game victory, the most he had ever thrown. And maybe it has affected him since. Then the A's lost on the Sunday afternoon in 10 innings, 5-4. On the base hit by Emmanuel Burris. Fastball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nate Scherholtz had a big game as Gio started that contest. Scherholtz, with the A's leading that game, had a key home run in the bottom of the 8th inning off of Grant Balfour down the right field line. Brian Fuentes took the loss in that one. 1-2 fouled off behind the A's dugout. Stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here, 1 out, 2 men on for the Royals in the 7th. Oakland has a 7-2 lead. Cabrera, switch hitter, batting left. And Devine gets the sign. A look back at second base. Another peek, and now the pitch. Backdoor breaking ball stays low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last year, when the A's played the Giants here at the Coliseum, they swept that series in May as well. 2-2. Fastball outside corner, same spot that got Mitch Meyer, rings up Melky Cabrera. So back-to-back Ks by Joey Devine. 12 on the day for Oakland pitching, and here comes Jeff Francoeur.
Now batting.
Last year, the A's behind Cahill, Gonzalez, and Ben Sheets beat the Giants 6-1, 1-0, and 3-0. First game against Barry Zito. Rajay had 3 RBIs in that game. With Gio winning 1-0, the A's got an unearned run on a Huff error in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's Francoeur batting. He takes a fastball for strike 1. Francoeur doubled over the head of Willingham to drive in a run. The second one of the game for the Royals back in the 5th inning. It was his 42nd RBI of the year. 7-2 Oakland. Devine on in relief of Gio Gonzalez. Then Ben Sheets worked 6 shutout innings against the Giants on a Sunday. Michael Wirtz came on and got the victory in that game. Here's the 0-1. Curveball, a beauty, and it's in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count. Jake Fox in that game. There's a name out of the past. Had an RBI double. Devine trying to clean up the top of the 7th inning. First 2 men reached. Now the next 2 have been K'd. He's got 0-2 on the batter. A fastball up and away to Francoeur, and somehow the ever impatient Francoeur laid off of that pitch. And it stays 1-2. Escobar at first and Getz at second base. Devine to the belt. A check at second. The leg kick, the runners go. The pitch just off the outside corner. There's a double steal. Getz goes to third base. Escobar up to second. No throw by Suzuki on the huge jump by the Royals. They've now got 70 steals this year. They've only been caught 18 times. So a base hit could really make it interesting now. 2-2 the count. Devine readies and fires. Fastball, swing and a miss. High octane at 93 miles an hour. And Francoeur is gone on strikes. Devine K's the side after the first 2 Royals get on base. No runs, no hits, an error. 2 men are left. On to the bottom of the 7th. We stretch at the On to the bottom of the 7th inning. A's lead at 7-2. Connor Jackson will lead things off as Nate Adcock continues to work for the Royals. What a job by Joey Devine. He pitched through an error and a walk and a double steal. Cade Meyer, Cabrera, and Francoeur, 1, 2, 3 batters in their lineup. First pitch breaking ball down to Connor, ball 1. Adcock came on in the 4th inning. Struck out Willingham and Jackson. Then he surrendered a run in the 5th, had a 1, 2, 3 6th. His next delivery off the plate outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Connor has walked and scored, singled, and struck out today. Right-hander Michael Wirtz throwing in the Oakland bullpen. Sizemore and Suzuki to follow. The pitch. Swung on, grounded sharply, but right to the shortstop Escobar. He gobbles it up near the bag at second, sends it over to first in time. And there's one out. All strikeouts this season are brought to you by Bug Zapper's Pest Control. Bug Zapper's Pest Control strikes out pests. It's a good one today with 10 strikeouts from Gio, 3 more from Joey Devine. Go to mybugzappers.com for more information or call 888-737-2847. First pitch outside, and Sizemore takes ball 1. He has scored twice today. He has singled and scored. Fly to right, walked, and then came home in the 5th inning on the base hit by Jemiah Weeks, who has 3 RBIs today. Next pitch down and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The Rangers have lost. The Angels and the Mariners are off today. It's a chance to gain ground on everybody. Swing and a miss. Fastball tied him up inside. And now it's 2 balls and a strike on Sizemore. Godfrey, Moscoso, and Cahill for the A's over the weekend against Lincecum, Sanchez, and Kane. 2-1 hit late and right toward the Royals dugout. Makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of room in left center for Sizemore. Keeps the bat on his back, and then he awaits and he slaps one through the right side. A base hit between Bedemeat and Getz. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the A's radio network.
Not even funny for him. That was like really, great for you guys.
Now batting, the catcher, number 8, Kurt Suzuki.
With Ken Korak and Ray Fosse on this bright Thursday afternoon, Vince Cotroneo from the O.co Coliseum. A's lead at 7-2, and here comes Suzuki. He has singled, got hit by a pitch, and grounded to short.
You say that beautifully.
Good practicing. Wrote it down 500 times. Because they changed, when we left it was overstock.com. Now they've shortened everything.
I understand that.
Suzuki takes high, ball 1. If nothing else, we're very good at following orders.
Speak for yourself.
The stretch, the 1-0. Swung on, grounded behind the plate. 1-1 the count on Suzuki. He snapped an 0 for 11 with a single back in the 2nd, then got hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Grounded to short in the 5th inning.
Scott Sizemore is a good little hitter.
Short stroke, compact, doesn't try to step out of the comfort zone, which is encouraging to see. 1 ball, 1 strike. He takes the lead, and the pitch to Suzuki is fouled straight back. Nice grab by Evangelos Belois in the front row with the glove. He hangs out of that front row quite a bit, waiting for moments just like that, and he actually reached over the railing on the backhand and made a great catch.
Hey, give that fan a contract.
Okay, Rex.
Scott Sizemore is batting over 400 since he joined the A's.
Hello, my name is. It's a way to introduce yourself. A ball and 2 strikes on Suzuki. The A's a 5-run lead. The pitch. Breaking ball grounded to 3rd. Fair ball by diving Moustakas toward the left field corner. Sizemore to 3rd. Gallego's going to wave him home. Meyer has trouble digging it out, and Sizemore will score standing up on an RBI double by Kurt Suzuki. The A's add on, and they now lead it 8-2. Suzuki with his 11th double, his 15th RBI. Moustakas, who opened the game with a terrific play, diving to his left, could not make the play, moving to his right. And now Ned Yost is on his way, and he's going to ask for the side-winding left-hander in their bullpen. So a break in the action, and the A's lead it 8-2. We'll come back with more right after this.
Barton.
And Teaford with a funky motion in 11 games, no record, a 1.93 ERA, working 9 1/3, allowing 2 runs on 9 hits with 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. Now Barton stands in, lefty on lefty. The pitch, missing high, ball 1. Suzuki chasing Adcock, who worked 3 innings, allowed 2 runs to this point on 3 hits. He's still responsible for the runner at second base. It's 8-2 Oakland in the 7th. The pitch outside. 2 balls and no strikes. When in Mount Shasta, listen to the A's games on KCWH 102.3 FM on the Oakland A's radio network. Derek is 0 for 3, but he's driven in 2 today. Putting the ball in play, a couple of ground outs, takes a slider off the outside corner. The count in his favor, 3-0, and Brian Payne is going to quickly go out to the mound and say, hey, you know what? We brought you out here because you're facing a left-hander. Let's attack the zone. And that's what he's asked him to do.
He's also saying we got a flight to St. Louis later today.
And we want to get to the toasted ravioli. Cabrera's arms crossed in center field, a couple steps toward left. And the 3-0. It's not even close, ball 4. So Barton will take the walk. Keeps the line moving, and here comes Jemiah Weeks. He's done an awful lot. He doubled in a couple of runs in the 2nd, a fly ball to right in the 3rd, singled home a run in the 5th. He's got 4 hits in 10 at-bats in the series. He's driven in 5 now on the year. The average up to .355. Switch hitter batting right. His double came from this side of the plate against Jeff Francis. The lefty's pitch, look out, up and in, buzzes him under the chin for ball 1. Well, it's encouraging. The A's are going to have some momentum, it appears, going into the series against San Francisco, something they've been desperately hoping for. Now they'll have 3 big crowds over the weekend, all likely sellouts. You'd like to see the green and gold continue some positive play. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. As we have begun to learn about Bob Melvin, his first week as the manager for the A's, is that psychology is something that's very important to him on a day-to-day basis, and putting his finger on the pulse and sensing the confidence of the ball club. 1-1 delivery, swung on, belted deep left center field. Cabrera is back. He's got some room, fighting the sun, makes the grab off to the side just in front of the track, and that's the 2nd out. If there's one thing you want to say about Jemiah Weeks in the first week that we've seen him play, look, he's been very exciting. He's very much an igniter. And he gets a nice round of applause even on the hard out. is that those fly balls, you don't want that to get in his head to try to play the quote-unquote big man's game and be like his brother, so to speak, and start trying to lift the ball, because that's going to get him out of who Jemiah Weeks is as a player and who he can become as a player. No question he hit it well, but not well enough. Didn't even carry to the track on a warm June afternoon. Now Coco stands in. First pitch, he swings out a cutter, pulls it outside of third base. Coco 2 hits and 4 at bats, an RBI and a stolen base. He's got Suzuki at second, Barton at first. The A's have scored in 4 separate innings to build their 8-2 advantage. At one point they led 6-0. Next delivery, fastball towards straightaway center. Cabrera again with a hand up, fighting the sun, staying with it, reaches up on the track, a step in front of the wall, and makes the grab to end the inning. 2 loud outs after a walk against Teaford, and the inning is over. But the A's had a run on a couple of hits. They strand 2. We're on to the 8th inning, and Oakland leads at 8-2.
Butler, Bedamit, and Moustakas for Kansas City. The A's got 4 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the seventh. The Royals, their 2 runs coming against Gio in the fifth. So here's Butler, a right-handed hitter, hitting at 300. He's 0 for 2 with a walk this afternoon. Michael Wirtz out of the A's bullpen, and the pitch by Wirtz is taken outside for ball 1. We were talking earlier about Butler and maybe the comparisons to Mike Sweeney. Butler batted .318 last year for KC. Here's the pitch by Wirtz, the 1-0 to Butler, taken for a strike on the outside corner. That was the highest average for a Royal since Mike Sweeney hit .340 back in '02.
And Mike Sweeney, who carried himself so well in the Royals organization, now back with them in their front office.
Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way, and it's swung on and fouled back, and the count 1-2 briefly in Athletic. He finally got to the postseason, didn't he?
Last year with the Phillies.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Michael Wirtz, no record at 2.21 ERA, making appearance number 22 out of the A's bullpen. A's lead 8-2 in the 8th. Wirtz, he deals, and a slider low in the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see the Royals as they play the Cardinals tomorrow night. Felipe Paulino pitching for Kansas City against Chris Carpenter. That'll be in St. Louis. And then Vin Mazzaro pitches on Saturday night. Here's the 2-2, just low, 3-2. So Finn, who pitched great in his start against the Angels on Sunday, will go for the Royals on Saturday against Jake Westbrook. And then Danny Duffy and Jaime Garcia Sunday afternoon, the I-70 series. 3-2 to Butler as a drive into center field. Coco going back, still going, reaching up over his head. It's over his head and bouncing off the wall. And Billy Butler cruising into second base with a double. Man, the ball jumps off his bat. So Butler over the head of Coco, who gave it a good try. And a leadoff double to center, the 6th hit for KC.
Boy, timing's everything, because he was up with 2 men on with 2 outs in the 5th inning when he struck out against Gio. That was indeed a rocket, and with Coco shading toward right center, try to recover, and even his speed couldn't get him to the ball.
A's pitchers have 13 strikeouts this afternoon. They lead by half dozen. We're in the 8th. Here's Bettamy to switch hitter batting left. Wirtz throws and Bettamy takes high, and it's 1-0. For Gio, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. He walked 2, struck out 10. Joey Devine in the 7th inning, a walk, and he struck out the side. Bettamy is 0 for 3. He's batting .284. Been around a long time with a lot of clubs. Wirtz to the plate, swung on, drive to right center, a long run. Coco in the alley to the track, and he can't get it. And this one bounces over the wall for a ground rule double. So back-to-back doubles, and now it's an 8-3 ball game. Coco getting a workout out in center field.
And we know he's been bothered a little bit by a right heel issue, and he's kind of walking a little gingerly on that foot right now.
Yeah, he was racing toward right center. You're right, Vince. And he's now going to kind of jog back towards straightaway center. Really well hit to right center, right near the 388 mark, and Coco reaching out almost made a sensational catch. And the ball landing on the warning track and then bouncing over the wall for the ground rule double. So it's 8-3, still nobody out. Here's Moustakas. He takes inside, and it's 1-0.
It was like we talked about early in the game with Bettamy. He's much more proficient as a hitter from that side of the plate, and that was really hit hard. And Coco, in both instances, were playing to the other field and had to run across to try to catch it.
Bettamy can hit. He's a pretty good bench player. The 1-0 to Moustakas, and that's taken for a ball. 2-0. Pena's on deck.
All of his power comes from the left side of the plate.
So the Royals have their 7th hit. They've had 10 base runners. Wirtz's 2-0 pitch and taken for a strike on the inside corner, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike to Mike Moustakas. In 54 games this year in AAA, Moustakas was batting .287 with 10 home runs. Former #1 pick at KC. The 2-1 delivery to Moustakas is hit foul straight back. Speaking of #1s, did you read where Dustin Ackley is going to make his major league debut for the Mariners on Friday? Their first pick, the 2nd selection overall in the draft 2 years ago out of North Carolina.
Well, that's going to have to create a move. He's going to play second base for them, where Adam Kennedy has played a lot. They've got some other extra players.
They sent Luis Rodriguez down, apparently. There's a ground ball down to second, right to Jemile Weeks, who fields and throws. And Moustakas is out 4-3. Bettamy goes to third, 1 out. 8th inning, the A's leading 8-3.
One thing that really helped them is giving Ichiro that day off, one of the rare days off that he had. And Eric Wedge, his first year as the skipper of the ball club, gave him a day off with 5 days ago. He's gone 10 for 20 since then.
Yeah, 5 straight multi-hit games. So the A's leading 8-3 with 1 out in the 8th, and the Mariners, you know, they're a half game out of first place. So runner at third, 5-run lead for the A's. Pena switch hitter batting left, and Pena takes inside 1-0 with Bettamy at third. The A's play the infield back, and the outfield, there's a gap in right center.
So you think there's going to be some Soto mojo this weekend at Safeco Field like the old days?
With the Phillies coming to town? The 1-0 pitch, and that's taken for a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Well, they won 93 games up in Seattle in Bob Melvin's first year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch by Wirtz, and it's swung on, dribbled foul. You know, Ichiro got his 400th stolen base last night. The 42nd player in the modern era since 1900. Dustin Ackley, by the way, was batting .303 in the Coast League. with 9 homers and 35 RBIs, a .421 on base. He's going to be their regular second baseman. Here's the 1-2 to Pena. That's driven to right center field. A long run. Jackson's not going to get it. That goes to the wall. Benamy can walk home, and Pena's going to second with a double. 3 rockets in the inning, 3 two-base hits, and now it's an 8-4 ball game.
Well,
and the hay is not yet in the barn on this Thursday.
That might stir the A's bullpen now. Michael Wirtz trying to get some outs here, and the pitches are not missing many barrels.
Ron Romanek goes to the mound. You know, the Royals, of course, they get very little attention nationally. This is a pretty solid offensive club, Vince. They're 5th in the American League in runs scored. So they can swing it.
They're young, and they're going to get better. The thing that's interesting about this young team is they're in the top 5 in the league in 2 important categories: the number of walks they get and the fewest amount of strikeouts, except, you know, today being an aberration. The A's have really taken them to task in that particular area, but for the most part they haven't had games like that like we've seen today.
They're 4th in walks. So 8 runs, 12 hits, an error for the A's. 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for KC. 1 out, a runner at second. Brian Fuentes up in the A's bullpen. Chris Getz takes a strike, and it's 0-1. So Getz, a left-handed hitter. Sizemore even with the bag at third. Here's Wirtz's pitch out of the stretch in the dirt, gets away from Suzuki, but not far enough. Well, Eric Wedge says they're going to find a place for Kennedy to play.
What does it do to Jack Cust?
They'll have to move him around.
If you've got Carlos Piguero and you got the kid Greg Holman who's up there now, they've got a lot of new players that they've brought from their system. They want to see play.
They called up Mike Karp, the former Met minor leaguer. 1-1 to Getz. Here's a delivery and taken outside. Now the count 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Wirtz. Here's the set and the pitch, and Pena takes a strike on the outside corner. Slider, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Wirtz, with the A's leading by 4 here in the 8th. Pena leads at second. And the pitch on the way, and it's swung on, bounce to the right side. Just left at second, taken by Weeks. A flip to first in time for the out. Getz is out 4-3 as Pena goes to third. That's out number 2, and Escobar is coming up. I was reading about the Mariners today. Now they're a half game out of first place. They're 35-34 with the Rangers losing. They had 2 rainouts earlier this year against Cleveland, and they've determined the makeup dates. They're going to play a day-night doubleheader on their next trip to Cleveland, but then they're going to have to play 1 game on a mutual off day in September. That's never a whole lot of fun.
I think they've got a situation where we're going to play 3 games in 3 different cities.
Yes. A home game, and then the game the next day, the makeup day in Cleveland, and then the next day in Minnesota. 2 out, runner at third. Wirtz's delivery to Escobar. Alcides Escobar takes a ball inside 1-0. 8-4 A's, 2 out, runner at third. We're in the 8th. The pitch by Michael Wirtz, and there's the slider for a ball, and it's 2-0. So Fuente is throwing in the bullpen for the A's. Escobar is from Venezuela, 24 years of age, 6'1", 189, and the pitch to him. Slider for a strike, and it's 2-1. At .235 last year with 4 homers for the Brewers. Hit .298 with 42 steals in AAA in 09. And the pitch, and that's taken inside. Now it's 3-1. Well, if he loses Escobar, I would think that we're going to see Fuentes face Mitch Meyer. Outfield, a gap in left center. Pena leads at third. Wirtz the set. Here's the 3-1, and that's in there for a strike, and it's 3-2.
There aren't any right-hand batters available off the bench, with the exception of the other catcher, Matt Trainer. He's got Alex Gordon and Eric Hosmer, who play every day against lefties and righties.
2 out, 3-2 count. Wirtz throws, and it's swung on and missed. Down he goes on a breaking ball. So Escobar strikes out. The Royals parlayed the 3 doubles into 2 runs. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 8-4 Athletics.
Pennington.
Cliff Pennington leads off for the A's against Everett Teaford. The left-hander stays in the game for the Royals. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The A's are leading 8-4. Pennington, Matsui, and Willingham for the green and gold. The A's have a dozen hits. The Royals have 8. Moustakas even with the bag at third. And the turn now, Teaford steps off the rubber. Lewis Coleman, a right-hander, is throwing in the Kansas City bullpen. Balfour is up in the A's pen. There's a strike, and it's 0-1. Time now for A's on deck with Mendocino and Humboldt Redwood. Hideki Matsui on deck for the A's. He's homered and walked today. The home run was number 499. Pennington takes a ball. A's on deck is brought to you by Mendocino and Humboldt Redwood. For ideas and inspiration, go to ondeckgreen.com. The pitch is bounced weakly left side, charged it short by Escobar, and he throws to first. And Pennington is out 6-3. And that'll bring up Godzilla. So the A's on top 8-4, and here's Matsui.
Designated hitter, number 55, Hideki Matsui.
3 home runs in his last 7 games. 6 homers for the year at 27 RBIs. 27 ribbies is second on the ball club. Outfield straight away. A pitch by Teaford. Matsui takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Lefty on lefty matchup. Teaford's pitch to Matsui. Breaking ball outside, and it's 1-1. 499 home runs. The infield plays into pole. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Hideki, waved at. And the count 1-2 again. It's very rare in Japan, just 8 players reaching 500. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th. The A's lead by 4. Willingham is on deck. Teaford, the pant legs up high. The windup, the pitch to Matsui. Outside corner, ring him up. Strike 3 called. Well, he's just going to have to do it against Lincecum.
Yeah, why not?
So Matsui strikes out, and Willingham is coming up. 8-4 A's. Grant Balfour throwing in the A's bullpen. It is Gio Gonzalez's game to win, pitching while under the weather. He pitched great, 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. You know, speaking of pitching, Vince, remember the story of Gil Mesh retiring? and walking away from over $12 million. There's a strike and the count 0-1. Mesh had hurt his shoulder, and the thinking was, and he even said it, he tried to pitch a little bit last year in relief. The 0-1 pitch with 2 outs to Willingham is taken for a strike. The shoulder was so bad that they thought the only way he could continue his career was maybe to pitch as a bullpen pitcher, but he graciously walked away before the final year of his deal. Willingham swings and fouls it back, and it's 0-2. Walked away from over $12 million and said, I just can't do what I used to be able to do out there on the mound, and so I'm not going to spend the Royals' money.
Yeah, thinking that in the bullpen was going to be an option for the Royals from their point of view, but not to him.
Here's the 0-2 pitch by Tiford, and Willingham swings and misses. He's down on strikes, and we're going to the 9th inning. After 8, the Athletics lead the Royals 8-4. Again, the reminder tomorrow behind section 120 here at the ballpark as the A's take on the Giants at 7:05. There'll be the A's Wives Basket Auction. The baskets featuring favorite items of the A's players as well as autographed memorabilia, and all the proceeds benefiting the Josh Willingham Foundation. 8-4, the Athletics lead the Royals. The A's, after they play the Giants, hitting the road for 6 against the Mets and the Phillies before the A's get back home for their final homestand before the break. Then the final 4 games for the A's before the break will be against the Rangers in Arlington. Grant Balfour, 4-1 at 2.86 ERA, makes his 30th appearance. A's lead the Royals 8-4, kind of winding our way through a lazy Thursday afternoon in the sunshine here at the Coliseum. 8 runs, 12 hits, an error for the A's. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for KC. Mitch Meyer leads it off. He's a left-handed hitter. And then Melky Cabrera. He's a switch hitter. Here's the pitch by Balfour, taken for a strike, 0-1. The finals from the American League today. Baltimore beat Toronto 4-3. Balfour's pitch is fouled back. In that game, Jeremy Guthrie started for Baltimore. He was pitching great. He allowed just a hit and no runs in 5 innings, but left with stiffness in his back. 0-2, and Balfour's pitch is swung on and fouled back. Zach Stewart made his major league debut for Toronto. He went 7. He allowed 7 hits and 2 runs. Great pitchers duel in Minnesota today between Mark Burley and Nick Blackburn, and Blackburn won it for the Twins 1-0. He went 8. Burley went 7. Swinging a line drive down the right field line, a base hit in the corner. Myers at first, turning around first, going to second with another Kansas City double. Well, they had 3 in the 8th inning. Andrew Bailey's up and throwing in the A's bullpen. A leadoff double by Meyer here in the 9th, with the A's leading by 4, and Cabrera's coming up.
Now number 53, Melky Cabrera.
The Tigers beat Cleveland 6-2. Max Scherzer went 5 2/3 for the Tigers. He allowed 4 hits and 2 runs. Mitch Talbot for the Indians, he went 4. He allowed 9 hits and 6 runs. Here's Cabrera, switch hitter batting left, taking a strike, and it's 0-1. A's 8, Royals 4, nobody out, top of the ninth. One of the best stories in baseball today was the first major league start of a 32-year-old named Brian Gordon for the Yankees. Now Sizemore, even with the bag over at third. Balfour's delivery is taken for a strike at the knees, 0-2. Brian Gordon activated today, actually signed by the Yankees because Bartolo Colon went on the DL. He had begun the year and was pitching great in AAA in the Phillies organization. The 0-2 pitch to Melky Cabrera. Ring him up. Strike 3 called. Perfect pitch. A fastball at 94. The 15th strikeout for A's pitching. 1 out, runner at second, 8-4 A's, and Francoeur is coming up.
Number 21.
But for Brian Gordon, he's 32. And in the Phillies system in AAA, he was 5-0 with a 1.14 ERA. And one of those deals in his contract where he could opt out of the deal if there was a big league opportunity, which the Yankees gave him. Now Francoeur takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Jeff Francoeur is 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Outfield, a gap in right center. Balfour bending at the waist. Has the sign. Now the pitch, and it's swung on and fouled back out of play, and it's 0-2. For Brian Gordon, and he's not a kid. Again, he's 32. He was a position player. He began pitching in the Astros organization back in 07 at Round Rock. And Nolan Ryan, of course, had owned that ball club. Outside for a ball, and the count 1-2. And Ryan apparently was instrumental in teaching Brian Gordon how to pitch. And then he actually latched on with the Rangers and pitched 4 innings in 08. Those 4 innings, the sum total of his major league appearances until today. Now the pitch to Francoeur is swung on and missed. He K's on a fastball. Back-to-back K's for Balfour. 2 out, 9th inning. And that'll bring up Billy Butler.
Now batting, number 16, Billy Butler.
So Billy Butler, a right-handed hitter. A's leading 8-4 with 2 out in the 9th. Mitch Myers at second base. Balfour delivers and gets a strike over the outside corner. This would be Bob Melvin's 3rd win as the A's skipper, 2nd at home. Of course, he was ejected earlier. The 0-1 pitch with the runner at second is taken outside, 1-1. 2 out in the 9th. A's pitchers have 16 Ks. Balfour peers in to get his sign. Butler's a right-handed hitter. Here's the pause for the 1-1 pitch. A bouncy ball right side, taken by Jamal Weeks at second. Throw to first in time for the out, and the A's have won the series. For the first time since late May, when the A's swept Baltimore, the Athletics have won a series as they beat the Royals today by the final of 8-4, and they take 2 out of 3. Back with the totals after this.
Francis to the plate, and Jamal hits at the left center.